fireplace. There's a fireplace at this rental, and I was in the other room, and I smelled gas, and I come in, no, one of my sons came and said, "Hey, Avi's fucking with the fireplace." And I went in there, and the whole living room smelled like gas, and he had the gas turned all the way up.
Oh, fuck.
I'd never seen him do anything. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, turn the heat on. I'm like, dude, what?
It's probably a bunch of propane in your house then.
That was 2 days ago. So you know what I did? Bam, we're live. You know what I did is I just taught him how to use it. I'm like, dude, look, you got to have a lighter, and you can't just turn it on, and you got to light the little ring in the fireplace. You got to
pilot light.
Yeah, you got to light that. Is that what it's called?
Pilot light.
Yeah. Yes, pilot light. Just letting you know that I know too. See how that works. I sent someone something, and they're like, "Yeah, I've already seen this." And I go, "I know you've already seen this. I'm just letting you know that I know too." Like I sent them something that they thought they only had access to, but just like to flex on them, like, "Hey, I got eyeballs over there too."
You're on the inside.
Yeah.
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 Is my internet okay?
Yeah, you look great.
Super choppy.
Great.
Oh, okay.
If I saw, good morning, everyone. Hi, Laura, Steven, Christine. Hi, Natalie. Hi, good morning, everyone. Halpin 23.1. Is that today?
It is.
Means no morning drinking today since I have a show tonight. I didn't say that out loud, did I? So if I saw someone who was walking around with handcuffs behind their back, the handcuffs can be in the front. I don't care where they are. They're wearing handcuffs, and there's keys everywhere on the ground.
Okay.
And I see this person walking around with handcuffs for like fucking 6 months. At some point, I say to them, "Hey, there's keys on the ground, and you can just unshackle yourself, right?" Let's say it's not just handcuffs. Let's say it's handcuffs and a steel ball that weighs 40 pounds, and they're dragging it. And let's say that I see the ball bump into them every once in a while, and so they're covered in bruises. And one day I see them, and the ball's bumped into them, and it's broken their ankle, and they're on crutches. And so they're handcuffed. There's a ball chained to them, and it's just fucking ruining their life. They can't get anything done. They look fucking miserable, and yet there's keys everywhere on the ground. At some point, I say to you, right?
No, you just let them suffer.
Yeah. I looked at one of my favorite words. One of the words I've heard more than any other word in my entire youth. It's because I listen to rap music. The word starts with an N and ends in igger. And I looked up that word this morning because I was like, "What the fuck does that word even mean?" And that word means when first of all, it says it's the most offensive word in the English language. That's what the definition was. And I'm like, wow. And like that should fucking matter, right? Like that's like some objective. It's like there's some objective metric for that, but whatever. And then I look up the definition of it, and the definition is when you have you call that to someone you have contempt against. So I'm like, what the fuck does contempt mean? And contempt is when you think you're better than someone. So if you think you're better than someone, you call them that word. And then I started thinking, we don't have a society that's like, "Hey, we can set you free from that word." We have a society that demands. We live with people. All of you listening. I'm the only one. I know. Very arrogant of me, but I'm just calling it the way I see it. I'm the only one willing to say, "Hey, you don't have to be offended by that word. It's just a word." And right down, if you look down, is a key, and you can pick it up and set yourself free and never be offended by any words ever again. You can set yourself free. You don't have to wear the handcuffs. You don't have to drag the ball around. You can set yourself free. A narcissist, maybe. Yeah, maybe a narcissist. Or maybe that's just an easy thing to call me to distract from the fact that I'm the only fucking one willing to tell you the truth. It's kind of irrelevant. Yeah, it's a narcissist. It's irrelevant that I'm the only one. You're right. You do not have to be offended by the word that starts with a ch and ends in ink. You don't have to be offended by the word that starts with sp and ends in ick. You don't have to be offended by any of these words. The key's right there. The thing is, what's so crazy is if I pick up the key and hand it to you, the world will turn on me. If I try to set you free from that word, the world will try to fucking kill me. You do not have, yeah, that's a bad word. Don't ever say that word. Cunt. That one is truly bad. Thank you, Mr. Hiller. Sorry. I'm almost bulletproof. You do not have to be shackled. You can set, and you know what's interesting? There's one for Armenians. It's Armo, but I didn't learn it until I was like in my 30s.
Armo?
Armo, yeah. If like you're in LA and you call someone an Armo, that's like a derogatory. But I didn't learn it till I was late, so that word doesn't even work on me because I didn't learn it young enough. But not only do we not tell our fellow man, hey, you can set yourself free, but if we did, I mean, you know what made me think of this is there's this group of girls right now complaining that there's men in their locker rooms who are changing. They're complaining that Leah Thompson is changing in their locker room and that Leah Thompson's 6'4" with a huge dong. I made up the huge dong part, but it has a dong. I just assumed Leah's Thompson.
Confirmed huge
dong. Isn't that weird? I just assumed Leah has a huge dong.
It would only make sense. It would only make sense.
It would only be fair.
Yeah. Poetic justice.
And I'm thinking, where's all the people? Like, where's these chicks' dads and brothers? Where are all these, like, just to like, if you're someone's dad and there's a boy in your daughter's locker room, don't you go in there and drag him out?
That's interesting.
I'm tripping. Hey, there was a guy when I was in elementary school who it would happen every couple years. I remember K through 6, a guy would pull up in a car at the crosswalks where the kids like walk across with the stop signs, you know, like the 6th graders do it. And he'd pull down his pants and show his dick to the kids. It happened every couple years. And it was like terrifying, right?
Wait, what? Nobody just stopped. Nobody was like, "There's that."
Well, it'd be like a thing.
Street, or
no, there like no one knew who it was. You know, it'd be like I'm not the same. Well, fuck, I don't know if it's the same guy or not. You would just hear about it. You know what I mean? Like you hear the parents being like, "Well, someone showed their penis to one of the girl cross guards the other day," and there'd be like pictures up. If you see this man, you know what I mean? And like he'd be in like some sort of fucked up like Chevelle.
People are so weird.
That's probably the car that like most military guys want too, like young military guys, old Chevelle. Is that true, Caleb? I don't mean to say that young military guys masturbate, show their dick in public, but just seems like a. Anyway, I digress. Those people were bad. Now it's okay. Now you can go. Not only you can just show your penis to. You can just go into a women's locker room and show your penis. Not only that, while they undress, this is a bizarre world.
Not only that, but you'll be protected by the law.
A trans swimmer, Leah Thomas, dropped her pants and exposed her male genitalia. That's a penis and balls. I think that's about the summation. In a woman's locker room after a meet, claims University of Kentucky athlete Riley Gaines. Dude, you got to snap a photo of that.
Apparently she has like a secret Instagram and he's like touting this like the relationships that he has with other women, like his girlfriend or his partner, whatever, is a dude transition or a female transitioning to be a male, I think.
So I was thinking, how are there not? Oh, so he. Wow. Oh, it's on an. Do you have that Instagram account?
I'm trying to look for it right now.
Okay.
I saw it yesterday.
So I was just thinking, I was like, yeah, dads won't stand up for their daughters, and
well, what would they do?
I don't know, but
like
something.
What can you do?
I'll come back to that in 1 second. Let me connect this thought,
Okay.
and I'll tell you what I would do.
Right.
And that there's parents not only not setting their little black and brown and Asian kids free from these words, but they're demanding, they're putting extra shackles on them. When the kids are born, they're putting the shackles on them. It is truly fucking bizarre how stupid we are as human beings for how smart we are. Imagine, I just can't get over it. It's just so fun for me to think about. All the different ways of how stupid we are. Kids are born and we're just putting them on the train track, shackled, knowing that a train's going to come and hit them eventually. Why even put them there? So I was thinking today, I would suggest to all of you and myself, because there's things that, you know, if you're a sophomore in high school and someone calls you pimple face or pizza face, that shit hurts. I get it. But those of you who are adults, pick something today and make sure it never bothers you again. Something so stupid that you're holding on to. Set yourself free. Don't do it. Official Ben Shapiro. Insane to think people want guys like this in the locker room with actual women. Leah Thompson appears to have 2 penises. Oh, no, sorry. Leah Thompson appears to have 2 Instagram accounts. His public account, Leah K. Thomas, featuring a small handful of generic photos promoting messages like "Let trans kids play." Then a private account, Leah Timmis. Anyway, that poor dude. That can't be fun, whatever he's going through.
I think what you're asking for is something that everybody's capable of, but nobody wants to actually take the time to do, which is like choose their response.
Right. And what's weird is this whole list of things is on the Democrat side too. Like all of these fucked up things that we just keep bringing up are Democrats. That's the weird part. I'm sorry. How many girls have to get raped in high school by a transgender person before you're like, I'm not a Democrat anymore? I don't get it. Okay, I don't believe in God, but I'm going to accept that because I just don't want girls to get raped. Like, how about we just, God, your hair looks good. And you used a razor with a blade on it too.
Me?
Yeah.
Shaved it? Yeah I just did it myself at home.
But clean. You didn't use electric on your face. That's.
Oh, I did. I have the same exact one you do. That little green one, the Phillips one that you try to save your balls with and got minced meat.
Do not do that with balls.
That one's rough. I'm surprised you took that risk. That was bold.
Dude, like 600 paper cuts on my scrotum in like 2 seconds flat.
You would have been eligible to go into any locker room with that razor. Damn.
So I don't know. Maybe I should run for president in Harlem. I should move to all like Chinese community or black community or. I even saw someone I respected the other day call she's Asian and she said something about how there's Asian hate. Like she believed that. I'm just like, holy fuck. And this chick's smart. Like, dude, set yourself free from that shit.
It's always the invisible though. Like if you look at those people, I hate to categorize that, but like.
No, I like it. Do it.
Okay, we could do the Democrat deal, right? It's like you have to sit with your thoughts for a little bit, and if you're somebody who's going to sit with your thoughts, you'll be non-reactive. And everything kind of slows down. But most people are reacting to not exactly what's right in front of them, but some sort of insecurities or feelings that they're harboring from deep down. And I think half the time they don't even know it. You know, like, so there was somebody on the plane on the way here, and they were like, ma'am, you can't have your bag down at the side. Like, you could pick it up and strap it into the seat next to you. And she just got mad right away. That has nothing to do with that interaction. That's either the habit of that woman always getting brooked up, and then underneath that habit is a layer of whatever the hell she's never dealt with. So I just think we have a ton of people that just haven't dealt with their own shit or their traumas for their past or something like that. And so they're waiting for that moment. And some of the people that get offended by those words are like waiting for it to happen so they could have an excuse to outlash.
Don't tell me that word doesn't mean anything. You don't know the struggle of my people. You don't know the history of that word. And they just go down this litany of reasons to stay offended.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Here's the key to your handcuffs. I'm sorry I even showed them to you. I'm just going to set them. Never mind. It's not a key to your handcuff. You're right. You are a piece of shit. Let me just throw that away. Stay locked up for the rest of your life.
Yes, they would kill
Yeah.
you over you
Yes.
trying to free
Yes.
them from that
Yes.
because it's
Yes.
so much
Hey,
easier
that's
to
a
stay
great
in that position.
animation. Me trying to set, or just some character trying to set someone free and they get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's like that, like trying to get a cat out of barbed wire. There was this cat one time stuck in barbed wire, and I tried to set it free. It was gonna fucking kill
And it
me.
would just go crazy itself,
Dude.
right? And continue to get itself worse. I
I
mean,
would
that's a
rather
great
fucking work
analogy.
on a running lawnmower than try to free a cat from fucking
Yeah, and so I just think you have, and I don't even know if it's a Republican, Democrat. I just think you basically have.
Well, right now it's the Democrats. If we've unfucked the Democrats, then I'm sure then the Republican. Then next thing we know, the Christians will be fucking like burning people for being naked. I mean, but right now it's the Democrats, right?
Sure. I mean, I just think it's because you could go. I hate the label of like this or that, black or white, Democrat, Republican, blah blah, because it doesn't allow for all the gray area and the nuance in between that is the world we live in. I mean, how many things are actually just binary? We could come up with, well, I killed somebody. You're a terrible person. Well, they broke into my house and they were coming after your kids. Oh, you're a hero.
Yeah.
Same act,
Yeah.
different context. And so every time, it's hard to go back and forth and say, well, this is right and this is wrong, because it just depends on the context of the situation. And mostly as human beings, we just don't enact upon the thing that separates from every single living thing on this planet, which is our ability to choose the response, to sit down, slow down, and say, hey, do I really even want to react to this? And it's hard. Like you've had somebody like cut you off on the freeway or do something right in front,
Or
and
some dude changing in your girl's locker room at 13 years old.
that might,
13-year-old boy changing in your girl's.
yeah, to the extreme. Okay. And so, how do you process that and then choose whatever response that you want to have? But that goes back to the question that I originally had. So if they were at the school with your daughter, like what is the appropriate response in your
Get a
in your
video
opinion?
camera and just go start talking to everyone.
So just expose the way the group
Talk to the
feels?
principal. Yeah, to talk to the principal. Like so, if my daughter goes to that university, I go outside the university, and when the dean comes out, I'm like, "Hey, are you cool? Do you have a daughter?" And there's like, I found this picture of you and your family on the internet. Are you okay with Leah Thompson? This isn't actually Leah Thompson, but this is a man who's 6'4", who's naked. Are you okay with? And I put the pictures together. Are you okay with your daughter and Leah Thompson being in the same locker room together? And I fucking grind on them. And then I do the same thing with the provost of the school, the dean of the school, the president of the school. I find Leah Thompson's parents. I just start going around. I find anyone who I can talk to, and I do a full campaign. I start finding out. Maybe I hire my daughter a bodyguard, and I find out what the laws are of a man changing a penis. And here's the thing: they think that they're tricking us by calling it. Well, they are tricking us by calling it a transgender. Like they've made up this word. Like it's just we just need to stop using. They've completely tricked the fuck. I just see it every day too. This word gender being used. Stop using it. There's no such thing. It's imaginary shit.
Hey, own the definition, own the word.
Yeah, just say that's a dude. Stop like that's a dude and it's a mental illness. Just call it what you want. Don't be afraid. You have a fucking mental illness, and I believe I should be free to think, and it shouldn't be offensive, that you have a mental illness if you have a penis and you wish you didn't, and you're a dude no matter what. You're a boy. End of story. If you want to call yourself transgender, that's fine. But you're, and for some reason that gets you a pass into that locker room without the police coming. It's so weird to me. And no one can explain it. All they can do is call you names like transphobic or something. No one's like, actually, Sevan, when you cut off your penis, you know what I mean? Or actually, when you think you're a girl, you become a girl. Oh, can I think myself into being a dolphin? Like, where does that?
Hey, you said something earlier about like, I believe in God, but then I allow these things to exist or whatever. Like there's no pushback against it from different religious communities, at least not in the masses, right? Was that kind of the claim that you had made earlier?
I don't remember, but keep going.
Well, it was, I forget where the stat was, but it was something like how like we're completely devoid of religion, like in our country. And that when that foundation left, you could tell how weak it is, because when things like this are ushered in, there is no, and like there's no religious groups or anything like that are pushing back against it, saying that it's against my religion. But if you were to try to do this, even 30 years ago, you probably would have had more of them. So does that mean that we're just completely in the absence of religion, like as a society in total in the United States?
Or whatever, yes, or whatever religion comes with values, morals, social pressures. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, because
you know what I mean? Like, there's on the other side of it, right? There was like, if a woman cheated on a man in the height of the Christian era, they stoned her. I mean, like, we can't have that.
right.
Sevan, I appreciate it that you're not only just focused on the dude, the girl seeing the dude, but I also appreciate it that you're sensitive to the fact that we don't want the dude looking at our naked daughter. You're welcome, Adam. Yes, it's both. We don't want the. Did you like how I edited that?
That's good.
We don't want, like, yeah, I don't need the guy seeing my daughter naked either, or my wife, or yeah, I don't.
It's
And why is
traumatizing.
that? Why don't I want a bunch of dudes? Because I know how dudes work. We all know how dudes work. We all know how dudes work. We don't want dudes having unfettered access to our naked women.
Wait, so you mean
Not
if
even
I,
the best dudes. Not even the best dudes.
so if I were to transition, you mean that switch doesn't flip off?
No. No. Dude, what's
That
crazy is
could be
all
problematic.
those dudes, the vast majority of those dudes who are in the women's prison, who are still men, who are claiming that they're women, those dudes also claim lesbian, meaning they're straight. They're claiming that they're women, but they're lesbian, and then they go to the women's prison, and then they fuck these chicks with their penises. It's crazy. I know. I was just reading this whole thing on it. It's fucking nuts.
Sometimes I have a really hard time wrapping my head around all of this. Like, it takes me like probably an extra 30 seconds to just dissect what was just said.
I know someone who's transitioned in 2011 and has been, I don't even know what that means, by the way. Transition, does it still have a penis? And has been living her life in her new community. More just fucking bullshit. Like, what do you mean her new community? Mars? And being a productive citizen. Okay, fine. Works, volunteers a ton. Where? At the children's library? And is an advocate for women's shelter.
I don't understand.
Honestly, I don't
either.
believe anything that Trish says. So
I can't go all or nothing on the. Yeah, I'm not all or nothing. I am all or nothing. I don't want men with penises near naked girls.
Yeah,
Unless the girls have approved it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing that you've stayed, like, not the only thing, the one thing that you're really consistent on with this is do whatever you want if it doesn't affect anybody else. But once it affects the schools and once you're legally allowing men in locker room with women's and locking them up in prison together, that's where the line has just been pushed too far.
Sevan, I want to push you because you just flippantly said in the height of the Christian era, women were stoned for cheating on their husbands. When did that happen? I apologize. I completely made that up. That was a complete fantasy of mine, of me having a bias towards what I think is it's my bias towards religious people. I apologize. I'm slowly working on that. Thank you. Bear with me. Someone find me when Christians stone women.
Can't find that article.
I'm looking it up now.
Sevan, both of my parents are correctional officers in prison. Told me a story that they would take inmates to the hospital for sex changes. That's your tax dollars at work, people. Yeah. A cop the other day, as a friend of mine was trying to explain to me, it's not like that. It's not really as bad as they make it seem. And I'm like, dude, you only need one. You only need one dude in the women's prison raping women for it to be as bad as I think it seems.
Yeah, then it just shows that doesn't work, and it's not going to.
449. Anyway, now you know. You can set yourself free and not be offended by stuff. Just pick up the key, unshackle yourself. Anytime you're offended, let's try to take the opportunity to set ourselves free from that offense. Let's add texture and meaning and relativity to our life elsewhere. Oh, okay. Yeah, here we go. Samantha, or whatever your name was with the cool red hair. They bring in a woman accusing her of committing adultery, claiming she was caught in the very act of taking the D. They tell Jesus that the punishment for someone like her should be stoning and prescribed by Mosaic law. Jesus begins to write something on the ground using his finger. Oh, that wasn't his finger. When the women's accusers continue their challenge, he states that the one who is without sin is the one who should cast the first stone. Oh, that's awesome.
Mhm.
All right, fine. Fuck it. Christians are good. They never fucking stoned anyone. Bad example. Even their leader doesn't think that you should stone women for anything they did. Unless
Yeah, a
they're
little side
sinless.
piece action.
Hey, and then what if Jesus just started throwing rocks at her? Because like he has
He's like, I'm without
sin.
sin.
I'm without
Yeah.
sin. Fuck
Yeah.
this bitch.
Yeah, that is always the case, by the way. Sevan, I met an 11-year-old girl who was transitioning to a boy. Parents had crazy psych issues. Yeah. So I know two families, one that changed their boy to a girl. I don't know if they did it medically, but they walked their boy into allowing him to do what he wants. And I just watched them walk their boy into being a girl. And then I watched another parent that has two girls walk their girls into being boys. And I just sat. I tried to push back. I tried to explain to them that, you know what it was with the one that had girls? They didn't want their girls to be girly girls. And they pushed so hard in that direction that they turned them into boys. And it's like, dude.
What do you mean girly girls?
Like they didn't like the toe pointing in gymnastics. They didn't want their kids wearing pink. They didn't like, they pushed so hard that they pushed the boys to boys.
Oh, so they just
let their girls cut their own hair.
So they just put their shit onto their kids. Projected all
yes,
that.
Yes. It's always like that. Yes.
Projection.
Yes. There's some great stuff coming out also. I just saw this thing of this lesbian couple that has two boys, and how they basically turned one of their boys into a girl because they felt the social pressure, but they knew in their hearts all along, whatever that means, their hearts, that it was wrong, and now they're trying to fix it. Hey, I want to tell you this as a parent. If you allow your child under your watch to do genital mutilation, you will eventually wake up and live the worst possible fucking horror. You will feel a guilt that will be so bad that you will probably end up having to kill yourself. I'm not even like saying it like in a mean way. I'm giving you a free public service message. If you interfere with your child's sexual direction and push a boy to be a girl and advocate for it and become a docent of their genital mutilation, at some point you will wake up. We all get red pilled. It's not, no one goes from red pill to blue pill, you ding dongs. Figure that out. Think about that for a second.
That's the first time I heard that, but I think that by and large is pretty true.
There's this thing in the Bible, don't be a dog and return to your vomit. You know, like don't go back. Once you're red pill, don't go back. Thank you. Brought to you by California Hormones. So you will feel horrible. It's the thing. That's the thing with the abortion thing too. Like don't do that. Don't do abortion, don't do heroin, and don't transition your kid. Because in the end, and if you so believe that your kid is a boy, your boy child is a girl, just wait till they're 18 and let them do it. Do not put any of those things on your conscience. Your conscience, you sleep with your conscience. It's there behind your eyeballs. You don't want stuff on your mind. A dog returns to his vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. God, you're good today, Caleb. It's an aphorism. What does that mean?
Aphorism. I'll look it up.
It's an aphorism which appears in the book of Proverbs in the Bible. Proverbs 26:11. Oh, I'm going to use that next time Froning's on. Rich, Proverbs 26:11 Hebrew.
Just a little flex on him.
Yeah. As a dog returns to his vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. Is that why you're not going to ever enter the games as an individual again? I don't know if that works. But
smooth transition. That's a good segue there.
Oh, of course. A lot of queer people I know were abused by same-sex adults when they were, of course, by any, but not even same sex, dude. If you fucking, that's why you can't have sex with kids. Because you'll fuck them up. They're not made for that. They're not made for that at all. You'll fuck them up, and they will. That's exactly what happens. That's the 50 Cent psychoanalysis that's true, anywhere from 51% to 100% of the time. Uncle Buck touches Sevan when he's 4, and then Sevan either becomes hypersexualized or wants to become a woman or wants to do something to compensate for those horrors of having Uncle Buck make me blow him from when I was 4 to 12. By the way, I should use I'm Armenian 100%. It should be a different uncle. Like Uncle Hudach, you know what I mean? He'd have some fucking he'd have some fucking Armenian name, and I'd always be picking pubes out of my mouth.
Oh fuck.
I'm just trying to keep the story realistic. Uncle Hudach,
Oh.
where's your penis? It's in there. Keep looking.
Oh.
There's crumbs from your baklava down here. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, he'd probably sprinkle baklava down there in his pubes, so I'd go down there and blow him.
I don't even know what baklava is, but that makes it hilarious.
It's great. Now he's just ruined baklava for me, honestly.
Spiegel, Sevan's courting sponsors again. But anyway, after I blow Uncle Hudach for 8 years, I'm not. You're right. I'm not the same. My sexuality's all fucked up. I just into dudes who look like Caleb after that. You know what I mean? Just throw some leather chaps on Caleb, and I'm raring to go.
Assless chaps.
Thank you.
I think the other thing too is like not necessarily like always stemming from abuse, but it stems from a lot. At least the two examples that I'm thinking of with people that I know is it stems from the fact that like they expect the reality to change to suit them, and the parents are aiding in that. So like it starts with something small like, hey, the coach hasn't let me play on the soccer team. Like I haven't gotten any game time. So rather than cracking that nut open and saying like, well, hey, we know that we missed a bunch of practices. You're not as into it as some of the other kids. Maybe we got to work. Maybe we'll get you some private lessons to bring you up to speed or to get you noticed. The parents go, you're right. I pay too much money. I'm going to go talk to that coach. And so they go over to the coach and they say, hey, you need to let Johnny pay. We play a bunch. We pay a bunch of money for this, and you need to allow that, or we're going to come down and we're going to get you in trouble for your job. So the next thing you know, Johnny's on the field playing. And each time that kind of escalates. Hey, I'm getting bad grades. Well, it must be because of the teacher. That teacher has singled you out because that time you dyed your hair blue and you came into the class and the teacher made a comment about that. Dude,
I know so many parents like that.
Yeah, so I think a lot of time too, it's stemming more from that, where the parents are saying, it's not little Johnny, they're perfect. Reality needs to bend to whatever is fitting into Johnny's head at the time. And you do that when they're young, and that just escalates as they come up. I know somebody who in this
parents who are in denial are it's fucking crazy. I saw
9 times out of 10 it happens with parents that have a lot more resources. They're rich. They just
or really poor and buff and strong and juiced to the gills like Travis Bajan. Yeah, but he was the coach of the team. He said he was the coach of the team and make sure the other parents wouldn't speak up or he'd kick their kids off the team.
Well, then it's like then you're hiring tutors, then you're sending them to a different private school. Then there's issues in that private school, the same one that happened.
Oh yeah, they always the bad parents. The parents starts. That's another thing. You nailed it. Those parents also, Susan, will switch their kid from school to school to school to school. Keep blaming the schools. By the fourth school, I'm looking at my friend like, dude.
Yeah. Hey, if I came to work for you and you go, hey, Matt, so tell me about the last 2 jobs. We see that you were at Kmart and you were at Burger King before that. And every time I don't know why I picked those 2 places, but
I like him. Is Kmart still around? No. Oh.
And then so every single time I say, oh, well, this boss was an asshole. They didn't do that. And every single time it's a problem with the boss. You're sitting there listening. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're sorry that. But in your head, you're thinking, I'm not hiring this dude because I'm just going to be the next guy you had an issue with. All my ex-girlfriends are crazy. They do this shit and they're nuts. And you should see the way they act. And you're like, all of them? Okay, either you're just.
I'm sorry. Where do you meet most of your girlfriends? At the strip club.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you start to think, well, maybe it's not them, maybe it's you. But when you're grown up through that time and you're raised to believe that it's not you, it's everything else around you, and your parents keep throwing money at you, maybe because they don't want to deal with their shit, or maybe they can't deal with their own shit, or whatever the issue.
Those parents can't deal with their kids' shit.
I think a lot of them, the ones that I'm thinking of directly, can't deal with their own shit.
Well, both, yeah.
Like they're just constantly projecting, and they think, oh, well, I had it so bad growing up, and that's not going to happen to my kid. So I'm doing this, and the other thing. And really, you're just thinking, yeah, you're just bending reality. You're creating a false reality that they're living in. And then once they go out into the real world, they're just going to get fucking smashed because nobody is going to be making those same arrangements for them that you have.
I started telling the story the other day. I went to the skate park and I was there with my 3 boys, and then 4 of Greg's kids were there with me, and Greg's wife was there, and my wife was there, and then Greg's wife called one of her friends who brought her 2 kids, and one of this lady brought her boy there who's like the same age as Avi, really good skater. And we had already been there an hour, and the kid gets there, climbs up onto, it's an outdoor venue, climbs up onto the ramp where Avi is at the top, starts talking to Avi and some other kid. Then I see him push Avi off from the back off the skate ramp, right? While he has his board there. Then he grabs Avi's board and throws it off the ramp. Then he grabs the board from Maggie's kid and throws the board like 15 feet. So I stand up and I turn to the mom. I'm like, yo, your boy's flipping out over there. I'm going over there. So she starts walking over there too. And I said, hey, why did you throw why'd you push him off the ramp? I've been in skate parks 3 years and never seen anyone get pushed off a ramp like that. And he goes, he starts mocking me, like going, oh, like doing like that kind of shit, right? And then the mom comes over and he quickly goes, and I go, hey, your son just threw pushed Avi off the ramp and threw both their skateboards in opposite directions. And she goes, did you do that? And he goes, no. And she goes, no, he didn't do that. I'm like, and I said her name. I'm like, your son's lying to you. I just saw it.
She's like, no, you're wrong too. He's right.
And so then then the kids came over and they're like, hey, this happens every time. He's a bad kid. So then
so she just rock him in the fucking face and just boom. Now
I told the boy right in front of the mom. I said, hey, dude, I just want you to know that at some point I know Avi seems like a nice boy, but at some point you're probably gonna push him too far. I'm giving you a heads up.
Yeah, he's gonna.
And then and Avi started laughing. And then, and this kid's bigger than Avi, like 2 inches taller than Avi. And then, so then, I don't know, 10 minutes pass, and my 6-year-old comes over and says to all the parents, hey, that boy over there is calling us all fuck faces and says all these words he's saying. And the mom stands up and starts yelling at my kid and the other kids, my son would never use those words. And at that point, me and the other parents are like, oh no. I mean, she was pissed. She was pissed at her son. She was. At that point, I kind of felt sorry for her. At that point, like now you're dealing with like some crazy.
Yeah, you stepped in it right there. You're like, oh, whoa, we need to back out of this room.
Call her hi. We left the park. Call her hi.
Hey, Sevan and Caleb and Matt. My name's Rob. I'm in Canada. I've called once before, but I was going to say to Matt's point, I think that being in Canada, the biggest challenge with sports is lack of communication and lack of knowledge. So it's real simple. I've seen it because I'll use soccer in my community. There's community soccer where everyone's going to play equal, but there's a level up. There's the next levels up, and the coaches tell the parents at the beginning, this is not community soccer. It's not going to be fair. If your kid misses practice and they're the best kid, they're not playing the start of the next game. If they lay out the ground rules, so you as a parent have to know what you're getting your kid into and make a decision. If that's the environment you want them to be in, good. You know in advance. It may not always be equal, but that's part of you have to just know what you're getting yourself into.
Sally is on the swim team. Doesn't mean we necessarily have to put her in every event. It says that here in section 7.4, even though you pay $500 a year, it doesn't mean we have to put her in, but she will also free of charge get to watch men in her locker room change, and they will also watch her. Thank you for your participation in the Canadian Swim League. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, it's no different than buying a dog. You think you want a dog, and you think, I'll get this cute little Jack Russell Terrier. It's such a small dog. And then you realize someone says, you walk your dog? What's walking your dog? I didn't know they need to be walked. Yeah. Dogs, just.
Do you have a Jack Russell Terrier?
I do not have I had a golden retriever.
Yeah, Jack Russell Terrier. Listen, people, do not get a fucking Jack Russell Terrier unless you hate yourself. Don't get a pit bull, a Jack Russell Terrier, a boxer, or one of those things that people claim aren't pit bulls. They're like a something terrier, a Stafford Terrier. Those 5 dogs, do not get those unless you hate yourself.
Yeah. So
do you agree with me, caller?
That's it.
Do you agree with me?
Yeah. I agree with you because unfortunately, those dogs get treated like these kids are talking about because they're not being treated the way they're designed to be treated.
Yeah. You're right. Jack Russell Terriers should be just outside hunting all day, killing neighbors' cats, squirrels, skunks. You're right. And if you do anything else with them, you're well said. Yes. Those dogs are fucking savages. Especially if you get like 3 of them together, nothing can escape. They're the
Your
most
house will be destroyed. No, your house is going to be, every couch you have is destroyed.
Yeah, they're amazing. You're right. I like what you said. Yeah, in the right environment, they're fucking fantastic. You got a rabbit problem in your yard? Get 4 of those.
Oh, exactly. So, but that's, you know what, and it's no different than, fitness. Like you can, obviously you guys focus around the CrossFit world, but I mean, it's like anything else. Like, I think we talk about all the problems that are out there with people that are obese and so forth. I think step one is them understanding that there's things you can simply do. Cut out your sugars, maybe stop eating carbs by 2 p.m. each day, and function 3, 4, 5 times a week where you're getting your heart rate up. And that's the starting point. I mean, yes, there's levels we'd like to see higher, but for a lot of people, they're not even at that minimum, that they're functioning, walking, getting 10,000 steps a day, and moving your body,
easy,
challenging your body.
Easy. We're getting to the 5-minute mark. We're getting easy.
Oh yeah. So anyways, I'll let you guys go, but thanks for the show. Excellent stuff.
You need your own podcast. All right. Thank you for calling. Love you.
Hey, to his
where was that going to go? Was he going to tell us about the transportation issues? And if we would have just let him go. Natalie, this convo is weird. No, you're weird. With your silky soft hair, Natalie. This combo is weird to start the day. Have to go to work now. I'm sorry. JOB. Thank you for all the good work, boys. Thank you. Don't call us boys. We're not boys. We're men. Me.
To the college.
I know. How did he go there? He's like, oh yeah, stop eating carbs after 2. It's like, fuck.
It's part of his monologue.
With the sports thing though, that's like, it's interesting doing the youth conditioning program that we started like a few months back. So, for example, with the parents getting way too over involved and setting bad examples for their kids, is we made a joke and the kids are like, they see the rings hanging at the gym. It's like, hey, can you do one of the muscle ups, blah, blah, blah. And so I kept telling them like, no, we'll just stay focused here. So in the last week, I was like, okay, you guys want to see a muscle up? And they're like, yeah. And they get all crazy. So I get up there and I do a few. And somebody goes, hey, if I get one, what will you give us? And I go, you ain't gonna get nothing. And earlier at the beginning, I told them that if they could beat me in a handstand walk across the gym, that I'd give them $100, right? So then one of the kids goes, well, what about the $100? And I tongue in cheek, I'm like, yeah, sure. And then so they made this joke that each week it goes on and somebody doesn't get it, it adds up, right? So then it was at some astronomical rate of like $800. Well, one kid fucking gets it. Like literally practices every single time.
What ethnicity is a kid? White, black, or other?
I guess
I don't see color in my gym. I'm Matt Souza.
Yeah, it doesn't happen in the walls of my sanctuary.
Right. All right. Fine.
But so anyhow, he's like practicing.
I'm guessing it's an Asian kid who weighs like 81 pounds and is 12 years old.
Good guess, but no.
Oh.
And he gets closer and closer, and finally Grace looks at me and she goes, hey, you better set those kids straight. He's gonna fucking get it, and then they're gonna like hold you to your word on it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no. So anyhow, he gets it, and he gets the muscle up, and he gets up. The whole place goes nuts. All of us are like, over the top celebrating, like high five.
Money fell from the ceiling. You pulled a string of dollar bills poured.
And so anyhow, he gets it. So then the next time he comes into class, we always do our whiteboard debrief. So they all come up, they take a knee, and I go, hey, I just want to recognize this individual. And I base the whole thing around the fact that he was no different than any of the other kids. The one exception was that he continuously worked at it each time, right? Trying to show the value of like,
it was the kid who was like
continuously worked at it each time. He took
awesome.
it in like there was multiple attempts. He would make his dad stay after so he could do it. So I do this big recognition thing, and then I told him that if he thought he was going to get $800, there was another lesson hitting, and it's never trust the government. And I told him in this case I'm the government, so you were promised something and you're not going to get it. And then they kind of just sat there. And so I go,
yeah, they didn't get that. They're like, that's dumb.
Yeah, and so I go, okay, so anyhow, I do want to give you some reward though. So we do a bunch of the stuff, and I give him $20. And I go, but by the way, I do think you do something. So here's a 20. I can't give you $800. And so he's like pumped, and everybody's cheering, and we go back and forth. And then later we get an email from the parent saying, hey, so and so was kind of bummed when they got picked up. And it was because a challenge was set out by one of the coaches, and I think that he should have got some sort of recognition, maybe a certificate or something. And I'm like reading this email like, what the fuck? Like, first off, what happened inside the building versus what was relayed to you by your kid has like they're on two different spectrums. I'm like, well, maybe he fucking didn't want to tell his dad he got $20 or something, right?
Yeah.
And so
I can't
so
believe
anyhow,
this is a true story. I can't
true
believe
story.
this is a
So
true
then he writes this whole entire thing and was like, and anyways, and then he kind of ends it with a good note. Goes, anyways, it's really great stuff. He's super pumped. I'm love what you're doing right there. And I'm like, wow, like you completely screwed this up. This individual that got that muscle up was my favorite fucking kid in the class. I would always make time to go up, especially after it. The dad made me want to just avoid it.
Yeah, avoid the kid. Yeah.
Avoid the kid. And then and then on top of that, what he just did was way more harmful than that, because what he said is, hey son, it's not important. Intrinsic value is not important. You made that accomplishment, and rather than feeling really good about your work and inside that nobody else could take away from you, reminded me of Avi with the gray belt. That was his. He worked on it. He got that muscle up. He owned that. He could be proud of himself with it. But the dad diminished all that, and basically it was like there was no intrinsic value. You didn't get the outside recognition that, and by the way, he did, but clearly not enough of it, or something was translating the message.
Dude,
and
the fact that the other kids think he's the coolest kid in the class now, it should be enough.
And he got complete recognition from me. We brought him up. I like showed him, I gave him the money in front of it. And I literally turned and was like, we're recognizing so-and-so because of their hard work and dedication to accomplishing something that seemed impossible when you guys left at the beginning of the last.
Hey, do you know what he should have done? Dear parents, this is what you do. Matt, I'm because I still think he's Asian. I'm Kim's KYM. I'm Kim's father, and I just want to let you know that we feel so fortunate and thankful that we have a coach like you who's giving our kids lifelong skills in the sport. My kids have been going to a jiu-jitsu class here, courtesy of the Glassmans. Very generous. Taking my kids to this private lesson with this fucking gnarly Brazilian dude almost every day that we've been here. And I take pictures and I send it back to the jiu-jitsu and striking instructors back in my homeland, California. And I say, you guys make me so proud to take these boys everywhere. Thank you for everything you've done. They can hold their own at any gym. That's the only thing you should be telling your or just take it. If you didn't like that Sousa didn't pay your kid $800 and he only got a muscle up, then take your kid out of the fucking event.
And then say that in the email.
Yeah.
Like, hey dude,
my kid's all about the Benjamins.
Yeah, and by the way, if you would have said that, been like, you should not like run your mouth around these kids because they hold you to a high standard of what your word, I would have accepted that.
Oh shit, like, Jamie fucked up my story. Clearly not Asian, because the Asian parents wouldn't have had that response. You're right. They would have never played the victim. Right.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. It's 2023. We're going to get the Asians to play the victims too soon. Just give it time. Kim. Yeah. Thank you, Kim. Yes. KYM.
But yeah, it was crazy. And it had such a negative effect for such a positive thing that should have been celebrated. And we had a plan to, because they get certificates when they complete the course, the 6-week course, and we give them little badges. So if they do certain thing really well, they get like the back squat badge. Well, he was going to get the rings on his, and that was going to be like coveted, like, you know, and whatever, nobody's ever going to get the rings and stuff. And it just completely diminished all that. I was just like, what are you doing? You just took that whole thing away from us.
Yeah.
Now it could be the case that the kid didn't
Do you
tell.
think that parents listening to this right now?
Now you can freak me out. I'm not gonna tell you
well, it's okay. You didn't say anything bad. You didn't say anything bad.
No. I don't say anything bad, and I try to keep them as vague so we could just hear, you know, the philosophical point of it. But no, I don't think. But it's kind of interesting because some of the kids that are in there were like, "Hey, wait a minute. We saw that you make videos. Like, you're on Instagram." And then one of them had said something about like YouTube, and that age group is like super into that. So I think once that happens, who knows how that'll change, like once they see the podcast and stuff.
How much shit you can talk about your clients.
Yeah, not a lot. It's getting lower each time, I'll tell you that.
That's good. It makes me happy.
Yeah, and one time too, we're not anymore, but one time too, a member comes up to me and goes, "Hey, we're moving buildings." And I snap and I go, No. Wait, why do you say that? Oh, I heard it on the Sevan podcast. He said
Oh,
you were
shit.
moving buildings. Oh, he did he?
Maybe. I mean, we've talked about you moving locations, haven't we? Oh shit.
You and I on the phone, not publicly.
Oh. Maybe it was live and I didn't tell you. Caller, hi. That's what I thought.
Okay, bye.
449 dolphin teeth. Jake Chapman, question: who do we now think that kid respects more as a result of that incident? 449. Oh, we'll get to that in 1 second. Let's listen to this really quick.
LA for the past 2 years, there's a different type of white person out there that I've never met before. Like the white people that are so woke that they become racist. You know what I mean? This guy said this to my face once. I'm a white dude. He goes, "I'm very careful with my words around black people because they're very sensitive." I was like, sensitive? I'm like, you didn't go to public school, did you? I'm like, because you would know black kids are the best roasters in the world, right? Like a black roast will scar you for life. I got scarred bad by one because I don't know if you could tell, I got little teeth, and this kid goes, "Hey, yo, why you got dolphin teeth?" And I haven't smiled at a picture to this day. I was in L.
We needed a little humor. Yeah, that was Jeff Bako. What happened to Jeff Bako?
He was just here this morning.
Oh, he was?
He was?
Yeah, it's like one of the first messages.
I haven't seen him in 6 months, I feel
wow. I know.
Hi, Clive. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Heidi. But the parents really didn't take it away. Sousa can push that down and still celebrate the kid with the badge.
No, but here's the problem with that, Heidi.
Yeah, Heidi. Don't take this away from Sousa.
No, sure, I could push that down, but the problem is I don't know. Oh, there he is. I don't know how what I do is going to be perceived now. So all it makes me want to do is just none of it because I don't want to deal with either end of that aspect. So that's all it did is it just basically stifled that part of the class.
As soon as somebody tells me like what to do, I no longer want to do that.
That's how I feel. It's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't in this situation, right? So like if I did it and it worked well, it probably would have pursued more of that. But now I'm just like, well, how are these other kids' parents going to react? Like now I just won't even bother.
448. Somebody's dad or brother. Oh, this is just going back. We'll go through this one really quick. This is the girl. Like I'm like, why isn't someone's dad or brother or someone doing something? Like I'm not sure I get this. Let's see. Here we go. Where's this chick's boyfriend?
Asked us how we felt. We exist to validate a male's identity. But the Ivy League, Leah Thomas's teammates, actually, when they were concerned about the locker room situation, and they sent an email to the Ivy League and the NCAA. Their response was, "Here are some counseling resources you should seek if you feel comfortable seeing male genitalia in your locker room." And then they were referred to the LGBTQ Education Center to educate themselves on the oppression that these athletes are dealing with. So no one within the NCAA is willing to acknowledge us, our feelings, our safety, our privacy. I've really tried. I feel like it's really only happened like the past couple of weeks where I like get emotional talking about like the locker room scene, because it is just so wild that you can turn around and see a 6'4" biological man pull his pants down watching you undress, and no one is willing to stick up for you. No one.
Imagine this is just nuts. By the way, what she said, it's not true what she said, but it is 100% valid that women young, naked, beautiful college women in their locker rooms are being used to validate mentally ill men. It's not true, but it's 100% valid. The algebra is there. The calculus is there. They're validating these fucking psychos in female locker rooms, but by the scene in the female locker room. It's bizarre. I don't know. 6'4". No wonder he's so dominant. I know, it's crazy, right? Big dude.
Dominant
long fucking neck.
Dominant against the females. Yeah.
I'd actually be curious. I'd be actually curious to see what he looks like naked myself, to be honest. I mean,
hey, you could do it. Just transition, go to the locker room, say you identify as a college athlete, female college athlete. And
You still got
and
4 years of eligibility. You didn't even use your athletics for your
Oh,
7
good
years
point.
of college. You're good, dude.
yeah, you're in
Thank
there
you.
like swimwear.
Yeah,
Pun
yeah.
intended.
They take you on the swim team at 5'5".
Where's her dad? I know. He's a
Why's it
huge
gotta be your
bitch.
dad?
Yeah.
Why? And the interesting thing, she said, no one's gonna stick up for us. The fuck, band together and stick up for yourselves. I think the only people that could really push back against us in an effective way would be women.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with that giant dong. Peace and love.
Yeah, they all band together and say, hey, guess what? We're not gonna fucking swim because we're not gonna change out because you guys
Yeah.
allowed a male in our locker room. So guess what? We're fucking.
Yeah.
I'm out. Hashtag I'm out.
Hey, if you're going to do that, make sure you call media ahead of time. That'll be awesome. Like, just go up there on the diving board at the Olympics and then just stand up there. Where's the next Summer Olympics at? What country?
Let me look.
I think the Olympics actually don't let dudes in the women's class. God, we live in a weird world. I can't believe I just said that out loud. Okay. Let's go to 447.
Tokyo.
What? Tokyo?
Tokyo.
Oh yeah, the Japanese aren't going to tolerate that shit. They ain't playing that game.
No way.
Caleb, bring Leah Thomas post again. It's not as clean cut as believing you're the wrong sex. It's a weird kink. He liked posts that indicate keeping the dick is. We don't need to bring it back. But what Clive is saying is that Leah Thompson is admitting that as a tranny he prefers to keep his penis. Yeah, who wouldn't? I mean, you'd be fucking crazy to ditch the penis. Hey, is there a joke here too with Clock Cutter? Anytime you guys see, is this one was something? Is this like Barry McCockiner? Is there one there too? You assholes.
I don't think so.
If it is, I'll get it in about another year. So you
I
can
still
depend
laugh
on
about
me.
that, honestly.
Paris 2024, instead of Tokyo. Paris will definitely allow it. Paris will definitely allow. I mean, their dudes have almost been girls for a long time anyway, since I've been a kid. 447. That language doesn't seem to produce a lot of. I think just speaking French reduces your testosterone levels. I don't know why I think that.
I always felt like it was the opposite. I felt like the French were like super sexual.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I think of them as super sexual too, but I just think of their men as that language is just too silky smooth.
Feminine.
So in a nutshell, this is fucking crazy. So they're saying that the people convicted and punished under current gun laws in the state of Michigan, that it was disproportionately affecting black people with melanated skin. Imagine how stupid you have to be to think that that's a relevant statistic in terms of stopping gun violence. So what they did, because you scroll to the next one, I'll read it. I'll read it for you. It's not relative to charging people with the felony firearms offense was supposed to dissuade people from carrying guns, but all it did was disproportionately impact black people. In Michigan, that's because people, by some circumstance, who have melanated skin are disproportionately using guns, but they never even mention that in the article. Do you understand the difference? Like if jaywalking tickets are disproportionately affecting people who cross the street. Well, of course it is, because if you don't cross the street, it can't fucking affect you. But they're saying that gun laws are disproportionately affecting people with melanated skin. Well, that's because melanated people are disproportionately involved in gun violence. It has nothing to do. That's the only reason. While this law was enacted in 1976 to deter gun violence, it has never lived up to its promise of keeping the public safer. They're conflating these two data points. It's fucking batshit crazy. I don't even know how people write this stuff. But here's what's so fucking crazy. Listen, here it is. In Michigan, 82% of the people serving a sentence for a felony firearm are black, despite black people making up just 14% of the state's population. It's not the state's population that's relevant. What's relevant is the number of people, regardless of their color, who are involved in gun violence. It's like this. They say that melanated people are disproportionately charged with gun crimes, let's say, or disproportionately represented in jail. Well, you first have to realize that 51% of all murders that happen in the United States happen by 6% of the population, and those are black men. If you want to use those demographics by genitalia and skin color and murder. And if you don't say that, you're not giving a fair representation. If you want to manipulate people, then at least give them a fair representation. We'll go into that more about men and women here and wage disparities very soon, the same way they trick people. But here's where it gets really crazy. Bear with me, people. You ready? They want gun laws because that's what the Democrats want. They want more gun laws to stop gun violence. And yet here they're pulling back the gun laws because they're disproportionately affecting people with melanated skin. So now they have two struggles. How do they reconcile those two things? They don't care because their constituency is fucking morons.
Just ignore the fact.
So now they're going to pull back this law and then go to the next slide and then look at, guess who got off on those gun laws? This guy, the Michigan State shooter, was convicted and sentenced for firearm charges for which he only served 24 hours in jail because they pulled those laws back because they were disproportionately affecting people with melanated skin. And look, this guy has melanated skin. I don't know if you were able to follow that. You might have to rewind that. But basically, they have gun laws. They didn't like the gun laws because they were disproportionately affecting people with melanated skin. But the only reason why they were disproportionately affecting people with melanated skin is because people who have melanated skin were significantly more involved in gun violence. It had nothing to do with anything else. And then they pulled back the law. And so this guy only did 24 hours in jail so that we wouldn't appear racist. And now 3 kids died on campus at Michigan State. It's
fucking clown world we live in.
Yeah, crazy town banana pants.
Yeah.
Jamie Latimer, they had done a welfare check on the man 1 week prior to the shooting. How nothing came of that is beyond me. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Paper Street.
But he's not dead. Nobody killed him.
Didn't this guy kill himself?
No, they let him off.
No. But since then, this is the Michigan State shooter. I think he died in that. I think he died. The thing is that, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They put him in jail for 24 hours, and then he got out and he killed 3 people a year later because of the color of his skin.
Well, that same scenario, I don't know if it has to do with skin color, but it's happening out here in California all the time. I mean, how many people that they have like arrested for heinous crimes and then let them back out, and then they just escalate it and somebody dies, and they're like, oh, well, shit, who would have thought? You know, the child molester came back and molested more kids and then killed one. So now I guess take it seriously.
So Democrats, do you want more gun laws, but only the ones that affect white and black people the same? Don't worry about white and black people. Just worry about the bad people. Stop trying to figure it out. Like they're trying to figure out a gun law that equally affects white people and black people. You're not going to find one because white people aren't shooting each other as often as black people relative to how many there are. Don't worry. Obviously, people in Porsches are getting more speeding tickets than people in fucking Ford Focuses. Don't worry about that. Just set a fucking speed limit law. Don't be like, well, that's unfair to the people in Porsches. Just shut up.
Life's fucking unfair.
Just set a speed limit law and just stick to it. Stop conflating the fact that Porsches and Ford Focuses have anything to do with the safety at what speed you're at.
Whatever happened to the only guarantee in life was death and taxes.
446, James Townsend. We got to get James Townsend on. I love these kind of videos. I absolutely love these kind of videos. When I see videos like this, I kind of imagine James Townsend like sitting on the toilet, like editing this in like on Instagram. This is nuts. This is so
you're an athlete,
what is that,
huh?
60 inches?
That's cool. But are you this athlete?
Unreal. It's so unreal.
Wow.
Good Lord, dude.
Hey, that steppity step thing that he has right there, I want one of those.
A
Those are
slant board?
expensive, huh? Yeah. That's too expensive to be using as a prop like that. If that fall off and
No,
break,
he
James.
probably. Oh, that one elevates. I was gonna say we made a bunch. Oh, one of the coaches at my gym made a bunch of them just out of scrap wood that we use. They work great.
That's wild.
I'm so messed up. Like when I see that, I'm not like, God, I wish I could do that. I'm like, oh God, I hope my boys can do that. Like I'm just completely like living my life vicariously through them. I'm doing everything you're not supposed to do as a parent. Even that little kid at the park, I want to slap the shit out of him, but I'm like, oh, Avi will do it.
He will too, but he's so like. So give it a few years, and I feel like Avi and Joseph will be way more even keeled.
Yeah.
The next time those kids get pushed in about 5 years, they're gonna have to deal with Ari.
Yeah,
'Cause I
yeah,
feel
Ari,
like-
Ari, yeah.
I feel like he's gonna come up and be like, "Did you just push my brother?" I'd be like, "What?"
Hey.
Bam!
Hey, dude. So at the end of jiu-jitsu class the other day, Greg has this girl. She's a savage. She's so good at jiu-jitsu, and she's really aggressive. And Avi loves her to death. And she's probably like a little more than a year older than Avi. So after class was over, I said to Tiago, the Brazilian fucking black belt who I can barely understand his English. I'm like, hey, can the kids get 3 minutes on the clock and fucking go at it? And he goes, yeah. And so Avi and Greg's kid go at it. This girl, and they war. They're warring. And I'd seen this girl had at a couple tournaments previously had gone 4-0 and won the gold. But she's a white belt. Avi's been doing jiu-jitsu probably 2 years longer than her. And they're warring, dude. And finally, I think Avi's gonna get her back, and she's pissed, and she's just big and strong and but skinny, you know. And she fucking takes Avi's back, reverses it, gets Avi's back, and chokes him out. And he doesn't want to tap until finally me and Tiago are like, it's over, and she lets go, and there's tears pouring out of Avi's eyes.
Ooh, he's finding that competitive side.
It was fucking. It was crazy.
Hey, not to spit it off too much, but have you been seeing the Gordon Ryan and Nikki Rod?
Nikki,
Oh,
yeah.
It's hard for me to watch because I really liked Gordon Ryan, but like obviously Nikki's our dude. He's on the show and stuff. So
I love Nikki.
I'm like, don't say that shit, Jordan. Gordon.
I do like how the comments are getting crazy too, like with Craig Jones in there and.
Yep.
Yes, that's 60 inches. It's crazy. I know he's a special. That James Townsend's a special creature. He is. Man. Tonight, Andrew Hiller will be on the podcast. I mean, the goal is I can't guarantee anything. I don't want to be like Sousa and not give that kid $800.
Oh damn!
But hey, could you imagine? Like, how are you supposed to give him $800? Like, sorry, this is going to be all the money I made off of all the kids here all year, and I'm going to have to shut the gym down.
Yeah, here you go.
Donkey.
My wife and I aren't gonna eat, but we're glad fucking little Johnny's got $800.
I'm paying Andrew Hiller $800 to come on and do the Open today. Watch the new Mayhem Nation video that dropped yesterday. There was 0 Haley Adams, and yesterday she posted in her story, "It's better to be alone." Oh, Nelly.
Drama.
Oh, Nelly. Okay.
You think those camp things are gonna be like here to stay, or do you think they're all gonna crumble after a period of time?
No, here to stay.
Interesting.
Here to stay. Bye, guys. Have fun. Hey, it's only 7, and the CrossFit class is at 8:30.
It's 8.
Oh, all right, fine. It's 8. Bye. I love you. You guys.
Right, they're going to CrossFit.
Yeah, this girl that used to live in Santa Cruz, Rocky, teaches now lives here and teaches at a CrossFit gym here in Arizona. Oh yeah, you're here too in Arizona. And so Haley and Maggie, Greg's wife, are going over to.
And
train.
oddly enough, I know Rocky. Not but
You
I worked
do?
out with her a couple times at CrossFit Aptos.
Oh no shit! Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
Yeah, tall, pretty, skinny chick.
Yep.
Yeah.
She probably doesn't know me, but
Every time someone calls me washed up, donate $2 to the live stream. Newsflash: $0 will be made. Oh, nice. Damn, Hiller just cracked a C4.
yeah, Adam fucked me up too. He's absolutely right. Should have listened to Grace. It's Grace's birthday today, by the way.
Happy birthday, Grace. Oh,
Happy birthday, Grace.
commitment to the show, not the birthday. 4:45. Maybe I should be more clear. I'm not joking. There's a couple of these today. I really am not joking, guys. I know it might seem like I'm joking, but I am not joking. Disneyland is just a place to eat sugar. You have to know that. That's all. It's not. It's not like poetic license. It's not like that's 99. Like if you go there and you think you're going there to ride the rides, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up watching people. It's like going to a park and thinking you're going to play frisbee, but you get there and it's just people shooting up heroin everywhere. It is literally just a place to go and watch people eat sugar. That's it. I mean, they have rides there, but action. That's it. Yes. It's just a place to eat.
Adults that are super into Disney weird me out.
Fuck yeah, dude.
They should. They should.
It weird me out.
I wouldn't say it's conclusive, but it should. It should definitely be a.
I have a couple family members that went to Disney for like their honeymoon.
I only like going to raves because of the drugs and the girls. I was never into electronic music.
Or the lights and all that shit.
No.
It's just yeah, when
No.
people go to Disney for
No.
sugar and sugar.
Yeah, there was no.
It's fucking weird, dude.
There was nothing else.
There's some people that are super into Disney, or like were. I used to know them. Don't currently associate now.
It's horrible what happened at Michigan State University. What bothers me is politicians using it as a platform for their narrative and agenda. How about punishment?
Was that different ring? That's not
I was trying to read a text message that came in. Caller, hi.
Hey, what's up, dudes?
Hey.
What's going on?
Hey.
I got a good affiliate story. So our affiliate just had a
Jethro. It's Jethro.
fundraiser.
It's Jethro.
Yes. Hello. Hey guys. So our affiliate had a fundraiser, and one of the local affiliate owners came down to be a part of it. And this person was actually on your affiliate series. And that person partnered up with someone who was brand new, never did CrossFit, just came down to the workout. And that person totally catered to them, showed them every single movement. That person could have really just went with one of their members and blasted it out. But that's what CrossFit's all about. They really took the time, got a new member, and really showed them what it was about.
Let me tell you what I hear. I hear that not that this affiliate owner was being nice, but they were being a pussy and didn't want to go hard in the workout, so they hid behind this newbie.
No, it was really cool to see, and it was really appreciated.
Jethro has high T. Yes, he has very high T. True.
At 49, I hope I am.
Everyone knows that. Dude, his name's fucking Jethro. He fucking walks around with a steel rake. How did your parents name you Jethro?
Well, my Puerto Rican parents were probably smoking dope and got Jethro, so.
Wasn't there someone on the Beverly Hillbillies named Jethro? Do you remember that show?
Mm-hmm. There was.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Jonathan Ortega says he fucks for sure. For sure.
Jonathan takes one to no one.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
All right, brother. Thank you. I'd love to hear good stories like that.
Good luck, everyone in the open, guys.
Yep, set yourself free, Jethro. Don't be offended.
No, I love it.
All right, bye.
Later.
I wonder, Puerto Ricans probably have some crazy derogatory terms slanged their way. Okay. So 4:45. Okay. So the other day, I don't know if you guys saw, but we pulled up the LinkedIn profile of the lady who's on the DEI, who runs DEI at CrossFit Inc. Her name's Elaine. I don't know what her last name is, but your money that you pay to enter the open, the money,
I hate when you say this.
the money that Matt Souza pays to affiliate fees. Matt believes a little piece of Matt wants to you guys to keep your handcuffs on, because your dollar is the greatest way to vote. You have to know that.
Little piece. Hey,
I'm only smiling because I feel uncomfortable saying this right now to Matt's face, but I really want to like show my teeth and be angry right now. But I'm trying to be cool.
Hey, I pay for it because when you type in CrossFit gym near me and show up, it's worth the $250 a month.
You guys all pay because you hate change. You're like, oh, I'm loyal to Greg Glassman and the methodology. I don't want to have the word high intensity on my sign. I like the word CrossFit.
Hey, the other reason why I paid it is because last year I pushed it. Like I wasn't going to, like I was really contemplating not going to. And they basically like enough time had lapsed that they were like, hey, you're going to lose your name. And so I have CrossFit Livermore, right? And so I was like, my first thought was like, damn, I don't want somebody else to open an affiliate and like take that name.
Look, it comes down to an ultimatum. CrossFit's like, can you pay? And you're like, I don't know. And then they grab your hand. Can you pay? You're like, I don't know. And then they bend your wrist. You're like, yeah, maybe. And then they put your behind your back and you're like, yeah, okay, I'll pay.
Well, the $250 in marketing alone, because if we look at the searches and talk about the people that come into the gym, I would say a lot of them, it's either one thing, it's either word of mouth. I heard it from a friend, they won't shut up about this place, so they drug me in here to come check it out. Or I don't know, I've been seeing CrossFit a lot. I had done in the past, so I typed in CrossFit gym near me. You guys popped up.
Fair. Either way, back to my story. I love you, Mr. Souza. Elaine Marino. Elaine Marino. She, when you pay your open fees, you keep the DEI council. There she is. Thank you. Oh, she, her.
Oh, she went to college before.
CrossFit LLC, global head of diversity, equity, and inclusion at CrossFit. Global
what the fuck does that even mean?
That means she gives head to everyone globally.
And equally.
How does she take herself seriously? That is so fucking ridiculous. But anyway, she has this whole list of things that of words that if you say them, like I'm a straight shooter, you switch it to like, hey, she's asking people like to change the way they speak in a way that's just woke. It's like, it's taking the fun out of talking. She's the word police. She's the thought police. I mean, it's full 1984 with her.
The thought police, yeah.
Thought police, right. Yeah. And by the way, what ends up happening eventually with thought police is very, very bad, especially if you're quote unquote marginalized. That's already what they do in a lot of third world countries. Like if the thought police is basically you kill gay people just for thinking about being gay. Shit gets really weird. Mm-hmm. And that's actually a big problem around the world, thought police. But she wants to bring thought police to CrossFit and to the United States. And I just wanted you to know that as an affiliate and as a participant in the open, you're paying for that. So while I'll be doing the open on the side and not giving a fucking cent, you guys will be, because I don't want to support that. I'm just lying. I've never been big into the open. I'm just trying to act cool. But just know that's where your money's going. And I still think that maybe you should pay your affiliate fees and pay your open fees, but maybe you should sign a note being like, hey, fire Elaine. Or not even fire Elaine. Elaine needs to put food on her table too. That's too harsh. Can you give Elaine a different job? Like, why not just make Elaine do all the fucking open workouts on video and videotape it? And I mean, that would add value to her.
It would.
Well, that would be even better if she doesn't do CrossFit. Take that money, say, hey, we want to see Elaine do all that. We prefer Elaine. We think Elaine will think more clearly and be a kinder, more gentler soul who believes in freedom. If she and will stop enforcing people to wear handcuffs so that they're not offended by words. You understand? She's the person who will attack you if you set someone free from their shackles.
Yeah, she's putting the handcuffs on people.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Susan. She puts handcuffs on people. And she doesn't even know it either. But I bet you if she started working out and understanding personal responsibility and personal accountability, she realized it. Give Elaine a job that's real and add value to the place. Yeah, you're right. Getting fired sucks. I want to take that back. She doesn't have to do a pistol. She could do a pistol the way I do pistols. I hold on to each side of the squat rack.
Lean back into it.
And I just do one and then the other. Yeah, I like to do pistols like that. Look, Caleb, I thank you for nodding and giving me the.
Yeah, my arthritic knees can't do that anymore. So we're doing assisted pistols.
I could do it. It just looks crappy. I come onto my toe and my kneecap's about to explode. But other than that, I get it done. Hey, and by the way, for the record, when I send my check into CrossFit, I put please only send my money to people that have worked there from 2014 and before. Thank you.
Oh, it's good. Start a gym and call it CrossFit Sevan. I don't think you're allowed to have it after your name, but it is a lake in Armenia. I guess I could get a secure location there.
Quick side tangent. I
Yeah.
have a new member, and her name is Sevan.
No shit.
Yes, and I did her intro class and everything. Super awesome, but it was so weird to call her Sevan while we were like doing
Hey,
stuff.
Is she Armenian?
Possibly, yeah. It's not spelled like yours at all.
How's it spelled?
Fuck, I'm gonna have to. look it up.
48 years old, T count of 980, no supplements, eat healthy, morning sex, and lift heavy shit. I'm a morning sex guy too. Which is a disaster if you have kids.
It's spelled Sauvanne.
And she actually said, "Wow."
Yeah, because I came in, I was like, "How do you pronounce your name?" And my head coach Albert was standing right behind me. And she goes, "It's Sevan. It's kind of hard." And then Albert goes, "No, we're familiar with it. How you doing, Sevan?"
Oh shit.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. She did great too. She's super into it.
444. So this is I think this is Elaine's husband here. Or Elaine, if you are single, this is if you and this guy wanna oh wait. That's 444.
Oh, my bad.
Excuse me. Stand by. Speaking of ethnic, Miss Perez. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. I'm having fun.
No, I think one of these days we should get together and talk about this council.
Hey, are you in Arizona?
No, but I will be in the morning.
Oh, perfect. Well, we'll talk tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
Our vlog series.
You're
think
on the DEI council?
I am.
And is that a paid position?
Yes.
Oh, well, everyone make sure you enter the open. I approve of Athena getting a small portion of your...
It's a very modest stipend, but yes. But what I was going to say is it hasn't been active since last summer.
Meaning, what does that mean? You guys haven't done any BLM marches or anything like that since last summer? You guys aren't in force? No.
So she comes onto the meeting and she tells everybody that we aren't going to be meeting anymore because CrossFit doesn't know who they are.
Oh no.
That's happened. So I mean, I'm not exaggerating. If they want to get mad, that's fine. But I'm going to set the record straight. We haven't met.
Is that why they hired that company in New York to like try to figure out their identity? I don't know if they're still with them, but they I know going back a few months they had hired like a PR firm and started interviewing all the employees there, and they were trying to like figure out who they are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what we were told. No. Hold on. I don't want to mess this up.
Okay.
So they said that not everybody's playing on the same team. Not everybody's playing in the pool nicely together. We don't know who we are. We're not going to be meeting until further notice.
Wow.
So that's what happened.
God, that makes me happy. So happy. Maybe they'll disband you guys. What were you hoping to accomplish by being on that council?
You know, a lot of people ask me that. I thought I was going to go in and try to, attack issues like getting the closed captions working for, that part of the community. And I thought I was going to be involved in just things that were going to help make the community better and more accessible. But
you're with some. The problem is that I don't know if the word is moniker. Those letters attract mentally ill people. It's like that. That's. I wish there was. I wish that we could just start like I like what you're doing with your seminar. Like, hey, like Chris Cooper, there's a seminar how to work with kids, how to work with large body people. I love the fact that you're doing that. I can't get behind that enough. There's a Chris Cooper started a program, how to work with people with autism. Like there's all this there's nuances to all of this that people who really want to get into certain communities and teach stuff, I fully get behind. You want closed captioning so fucking deaf old people and just deaf people in general can see it? I'd love it. Make this shit more accessible to people. But this group, this DEI group wants to harm people. It's like the person, it's like, like when a business wants, the city demands a business put in a handicap ramp, for people in wheelchairs, and the business can't afford to put it in. And so they get put out of business. Like, that shit ain't right.
There are some great people that are part of that group. I mean, you know, Amy, she's amazing.
Amazing. Love her.
Lots of good people on the council. And I truly believe that, I don't know all of them, but I would have to imagine that everybody joined for the same reasons. I just wanted to make CrossFit more accessible to every group there was. And it definitely was a different atmosphere than I was coming on, for sure.
Well, it does give me some solace knowing that people like you and Amy are on the council. I'm very curious to see what happens to it. I do think that they should redistribute your guys' talents.
I don't no idea what they're going to
just. I mean, I know you and I have talked about this before, but I'll just use this as just an example. Instead of having affiliate managers, get rid of all of those guys and reallocate that money to send affiliate owners to the large body seminar, right? I mean, we know that we're headed towards a fucking population that's 50% large bodies. You want to do something good for affiliate owners? Tell them, hey, we're going to do one of these in every state over the next 3 years, and everyone can come for free.
That would be awesome.
Like do that. That I would much. And then what you're doing is you're helping and I'm putting my fingers up in quotes, a marginalized community. You want to get more black people into fucking CrossFit? Go fucking build a gym in fucking Compton or wherever all the black people are. Like, just attack the fucking issue.
I mean,
use that money like that.
Unity in CrossFit, but I mean, let's look at the numbers, right? We are not. We're the average.
Right.
So,
Right. All right. Well, thank you for calling and thank you for the insight. Don't let anyone tell you what you can and can't say.
Never.
Okay.
Later.
Bye. See you tomorrow. That's cool. I get to see her tomorrow.
Hey, by the way, what she had said about the council and like her aim as to why she joined, that was really cool. That was the first time because I always thought the whole thing was fluff, but as she was like explaining there and just creating like accessibility and making sure that every base is like covered in that way without going too far out to the deep end with it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because I do have a deaf member, and so I put like captions to a lot of the stuff that we do and stuff, and he champions CrossFit like no other, and he's like a vice principal of a deaf school, and he was unable to complete the L1 because he was left on his own to get a translator, and they were like, okay, so he found somebody who understood CrossFit and could translate for him, but then the second day they had to get somebody else, and this new translator came in, and I forget how the curriculum goes, but I think it's like programming and stuff like that on the second day, and she had no familiarity with CrossFit, so trying to figure out how to sign the certain CrossFit specific things, she like couldn't, and essentially freaked out, and mid-lecture just left.
Hey, that's hilarious. Hey, I just got this fucking brilliant idea for Dawn. Dear Dawn, no, never mind. Dear Nicole, who the fuck runs the training department?
Dear Board of Directors at Berkshire Partners.
Yeah, I don't know. Dear CrossFit HQ, thank you. Anyone who, never mind. I'm just doing this on my own as the CEO. Hold on a second.
Perfect.
Hold on. Dear CrossFit community. As the CEO, any deaf person that's like, you motherfuckers who can't hear and do this sign language shit. If you come to a level 1 and you bring your translator with you, we will allow your translator to take the level 1 for free. You come, you bring a translator, They do it for the entire class. You pay the $1,000. Your translator gets to take the test and do the entire class for free. They get to be in the breakout groups. They get to take the test. They get the certificate for free. And if they can't do it while they're translating, they can sign up for another one later and do it for free. Thank you.
Yeah. And
I want you to know as CEO, excuse me, I'm a CEO. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Yeah. Text me something if you have something you think I should add to that. Hold on a sec. Let me check with my counsel. What should I add to that, Susan? Anything else?
No, I was just going to say that when the translator left, he wasn't able to properly take the test because he didn't have kind of the back half information.
You witnessed that?
He was a member of my gym, still is today.
Hey, that would be that's like a Will Ferrell movie.
Oh, I didn't witness the person walking out. I'm sorry. I didn't witness that
like
part.
Running out of the snatch. I refuse to do snatch.
And he reached back out and was like, hey, this is what happened. This is my situation. Is it possible to come to take the test or to get that back half lecture? Like, how could you guys kind of work with me on it? And essentially nobody ever got back to him.
Yeah. Hey, that is a really good idea. CrossFit, run with that shit.
Yeah.
What sucks is that probably there's like some red tape and some like, but I mean, that seems like a no-brainer. Dude, that right there, like that's the kind of shit the DEI council should be coming up with.
Yeah.
Hey, can
or
we
at
do
least
this?
have looked at his situation, helped out. And the thing is he was like a high value person to have because
the principal of a fucking school. Yeah. Super high value.
And I'm not sure if that's the exact title, but yeah, he would have literally been, he does all the time, but would have taken it to the next level and really pushed it in his school.
Yeah.
And so they fumbled the ball on that one.
So two good ideas. I think Elaine will truly enjoy her job better if she is just a have her do one WOD demo a month, and then I don't know how much you guys pay her, 200,000-300,000 a year. All she has to do is one WOD demo a month. She has to participate in an affiliate 5 days a week, and that should be her job. Don't worry about any of the other like censoring people's language or being the thought police. Elaine, I think that you represent a good demographic of a lady who wears her red lipstick way too bright and bangs are out. But I think slowly, as you take more pride in your movement and in your physical appearance through CrossFit, you will change and you'll see that you'll be a more accepting person. But in the meantime, I found you a husband, 444. Elaine Moreno.
We'll be really quick. There's some terms in the automotive industry that we're just no longer allowed to use. I'm going to run down the list so we're very clear on what we cannot say. We cannot say male connectors, female connectors, dykes, foreman, manager, hose, circlip, stud. Still waiting to see if we can say bunghole, helicoil, nuts, nipples, jugs, shaft, jack, chuck, rear end, undercarriage, skirt, and for now on, tranny fluid will be known as gender neutral shift juice. Thanks, guys. This meeting will be really quick. There's some
fluid. Oh my God. Oh my God. Daniel Arnson, welcome to the show, buddy. Good to have you. Good to have you live.
What's the CCC?
Something. Oh, what is Adam Blakesley? I had an unscheduled guy. Susan nailed this, or Caleb nailed this one time. I don't read the comments before I pull them up, just so you know.
They're not vetted.
They're not, because we don't have time to vet them. So I just see your name and write something. There's some pattern of something I see that just makes me want to pull it up. Adam Blakesley, I had an unscheduled guy from Cubs sit right behind me at my L1 with a friend translating. It was so damn hard to concentrate. An unscheduled guy from Cubs, Cubans, and I don't know.
Wait, it was hard to concentrate?
Because there was someone translating, maybe in a different language or doing.
Yeah. I see.
Civilian Conservation Corp. Okay, so I mean, that's supposed to be a comedy skit, but that's Elaine that's her job at CrossFit Inc. And it's not, they don't take it as funny. Like, I don't think she's like, oh, this is so good, I'm gonna get rid of the word straight shooter. I don't think.
Straight shooter. Wait, but what is she doing then? If there's not a DEI council.
Dude, they're just terrified to fire her because she'll sue all those people. They hired a guy because of his sexual preference in a very high executive position at CrossFit Inc. And it didn't work out with him, and now he's suing because he thinks he was discriminated against because of that. But the only discrimination really against him was the fact that he was hired because of that. I mean, the irony is crazy. You can't get hired because you suck dick and have a dick, and then get fired because you suck dick and have a dick and be upset. Like, you can't do both. I don't think. I mean, he is. What do I know?
It would be crazy if they just hired him based off like his talent and his ability to bring value to the company and the team.
Remarkable, unreal. Even just if it's Fran time. How about this? These are the words. I mean, it's more valid. These are the words that the phrases Elaine wants to get rid of. Blown away, pull the trigger, take a stab at it, jump the gun, bite the bullet, kicking and screaming, kill two birds with one stone. There's a deadline on that paper. Pick your own battles. Shoot me an email. This is overkill. They totally bombed this show. I love a straight shooter. Let's roll with the punches. Can we soften the blow? Take a shot in the dark, and that's a bad idea. Those are the phrases she'd like to get the staff at CrossFit.
You forgot the proper trigger warning before you went into those, so we'll have to.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, trigger warning, guys.
Here's the thing: if someone, if I like, I think it's a great practice if I find other ways to say things. I had an English teacher that say whatever word you want to start a paragraph with, don't use it. Use a different word as a practice. Go ahead, but to start policing people and judging people,
or to say that those phrases harm anybody.
Yeah, you want, like you said, you're the shackler. She wants to put handcuffs on people. Don't let her do it to you.
Yeah, she's walking around handcuffing motherfuckers.
Yeah, she's mentally. That's a mental illness, by the way. We'll do a whole show on that. 443. This is Rachel Maddow. This is what sucks, and this is why some of you like this show. The point of this show is not necessarily for me to be right, but for me to try to figure out what the truth is. At least that's what I hope. And that's the problem with mainstream media, I guess, even though I feel pretty mainstream myself right now. They don't want, they're not interested in the truth. They're interested in defending their position.
Mm-hmm.
Action.
This country still makes 77 cents on the dollar for what men make. So if women don't make less than men?
Actually, if you start looking at the numbers, Rachel, there are lots of reasons for that.
Wait. No.
Well,
don't tell me the reasons. Don't tell me the reasons. Do women make less than men for doing the same work?
No, because
wow.
Well,
okay.
Well, for example, men work an average of 44 hours a week. Women work 41 hours a week. Men go into professions like engineering, science, and math that earn more. Women want more flexible
Listen, this is not a math is hard.
No. Yes, it is. Actually,
no, it is.
I wish you were as right about what you're saying as you are passionate about it. I really do.
Women in this country still.
It is it's the same argument that I brought up a million times on this show when they say that the average Jew makes $100,000 in the United States and the average Puerto Rican makes $25,000, and then they forget to tell you that the average Jew is 50 years old and the average Puerto Rican is 25 years old. And it's what we talked about earlier about referencing that gun laws adversely affect people with melanated skin without first mentioning the fact that 51% of all murders are committed by melanated males. I mean, you can't, these are just, we're dealing with morons, just morons. If you want to see a whole entire book about this kind of stuff, look into the author. His name is, I forget his. What's Sowell's for? Thomas Sowell. Am I saying his name right? Thomas Sowell. Sowell. Mm-hmm. Thomas Sowell from the Hoover Institute. There's a book that I read of his most recent book. I've talked about it a lot on the show. Civil Rights versus what's the Thomas Sowell book? Civil Rights book. It's got all sorts of amazing facts in it.
Hey, the Bay Area side of me, like just from being born out here in California in the Bay Area, every time you said that the fact about melanated skin people and the crime rate, it makes me feel a little weird inside.
Yeah, it should. Yeah,
like
it makes
me
feel
like you shouldn't say that, right? But it's just a factual thing, right? So
Dude,
it's not like you're not implying anything by it. You're just stating
No.
a factual
Hey,
thing.
and you would be, I'll reiterate this too. You would be crazy if you thought skin color was even a factor. No one's born with a certain skin color that makes them anything other than better suited to live closer or further than the equator. That's all it means. I'm just using their breakdown of the demographic for them. It has nothing to do. The name of the book is Civil Rights, a Rhetoric or Reality. And there's some crazy shit in there that you'll see. And he happens to be a black dude, 93. You'll see some crazy shit in that book, some numbers that like you'll struggle to get your head wrapped around about who actually makes more money, who actually you'll be blown away. You'll be blown away. One of the numbers in there, I can't remember the exact stats, but if you take a single black woman who doesn't have kids and compared her earnings to and then he shows a whole comparison, you'll be like, oh shit. Like, I get it. Like the biggest factor was women having kids had nothing to do with skin color. Obviously, duh. Hey, all these people who are defending Rihanna wiping, or she didn't just wipe her vagina. She did this. For those of you who have ever been with a girl, especially girls who can orgasm, they have a stroke. They rub the root or something. They're rubbing the root, like they rub the root, and they have this like thing that they do with their fingers. And she did that thing. That's what the thing she was doing. I've seen a bunch of girls do that. Like personally, I've been in the room with them. I've been like right next to them. What's going on? Why is the bed shaking? And she did that, and then she smelt her finger. It's the Super Bowl, dude. Please don't call me. There's a station for that. Pornhub.
You want to hear a crazy story?
Why is she doing Pornhub gesticulations on the Super Bowl? I don't want to be a prude. I really don't. She was flicking the bean. Yeah. I don't think they don't really flick the bean. They're hitting like the root of it. They kind of stay away from the bean. They get overstimmed by the bean. The bean's the clit. Man in the canoe. They're getting like the root. They're getting the root.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the root. Yeah, the root. Yeah, you guys got to go after the root. The root.
When I was in basic training, we had like bunk beds. So,
this is so good. Take your time with this story.
All right.
You heard basic training. It was all in.
Yeah.
I heard bunk beds.
Yeah, bunk beds. So when I was in basic training, we had bunk beds, and I ended up on the top bunk, and this other guy ended up on the bottom bunk, and he's like probably like 6'5", 6'6", like skinny guy, super awkward, like couldn't hold a conversation type person. Like his brain was moving like significantly slower than the rest. Like you would say something, and then he'd laugh about it like a minute later, and then have like we would be well along in the conversation. But when it was like the first couple weeks that we were there, and I usually I could just fall asleep, like no issue, just pass out. But one night I was like laying in bed, and I just felt like the bunk was like shaking, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, what is going on here? Like, I was like, what the fuck? And so I just figured he was like,
and that's not where you're supposed to jack off, right? There's places to do it. That's not one.
Yeah, you could definitely do it somewhere else. But
right.
Yeah, but so I couldn't figure out what was going on, and I was like, gave him the benefit of the doubt, like maybe he just was restless and couldn't sleep, whatever. And so I was like, dude, you got to stop shaking the bed. I like leaned over. It was like in the middle of the night. I leaned over the bunk, and I'm like, dude, stop shaking the bed. Like, I cannot fucking sleep because of this shit. Yeah. So I told my buddies about it, and I was like, dude, this guy, look, my bunkmate, he just fucking keeps shaking the bed, and I cannot sleep. Like, I don't know what the fuck was up. So later, my buddies went and talked to him, and they were like, yeah, Beaver said he couldn't sleep the other night. Or like maybe they were talking about how he's like, they were talking about laundry day, like how you have to like, we had to strip all of our beds and like do laundry and shit. Come to find out, he was jacking off on the bottom bunk, and he would do it on like the night before laundry night. So he would just jack off into the sheets.
That's genius. I do give him credit for that.
He would jack off into the sheets, and then we would like put all of our fucking bed sheets together, and then do laundry.
Oh, so someone got his sheets.
Somebody else, yes, dude. So he was beaten off into sheets, and then he would bundle it up, and then somebody else would do the laundry, and then those sheets would just go somewhere else. And I was like, and they didn't. I found out about it later. I was like, this motherfucker's been beaten off into his sheets, all right underneath me, for days.
Hey,
and not saying shit about it.
Hey, I just an idea for practically speaking. You should have just laid on your stomach and let the shaking of the bed rub one out for you, like a.
You know what?
Like a handless one.
Honestly, I should have done that. It's only gay if you're touching, right?
Hey, if you're hanging out with all dudes, everyone's got nut on them.
That's what I was gonna say, because one time I was with a bunch of buddies. They're Marines, Caleb, so you already know where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
And we got onto Camp Pendleton, or at least I did. I wasn't allowed, and one of my other friends. And so we go on there, and everybody's out drinking, and we go back to Camp Pendleton because that's where they're staying. And we go back into the guy's, like, whatever, the dorm that he's sharing. And freaking homeboy came home early, drunk, and decided to get a little Pornhub going and rub one out, but passed out midway. So you go on and there's just porn playing in the room, and everybody's like, what the fuck is happening? And then you open the door and he's just assed out, D in hand, with the computer still playing.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah, my buddy Joe,
Wow.
we're not, dude. He's like, fuck, do I have to wake him up? And we're like, we're not just going to go in there and hang out around this dude.
Wow.
Porn playing.
Hey, that's the kind of shit in the cell phone era you'd pay for the rest of your life. Someone take a photo.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that probably would have been like 2009.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Oh, it was rough. That was rough. And then Joel, my buddy, was like, yeah, it's actually not that uncommon. I was like it was like another day at the office for him and everybody else.
Oh yeah, I do that sometimes. Sorry. What the hell?
Too much.
That's awesome.
Okay. I wonder if jacking off is suitable for Elaine's. I wonder jacking off seems safe.
So the word
instead of firing the gun, shooting a load. She doesn't do shooting a load.
Could be harmful to some communities.
Honey, can you help me take one out of the chamber? No, I cannot.
Oh.
Can you milk the sausage? No, that's abuse to animals. Podcast has entered new territory.
That's funny. I didn't even think about that story for the longest time until Caleb said that.
Shit gets
anyway, I don't see. If I told you that, hey, if I told you 5 years ago, hey, or 10 years ago, hey, during the Super Bowl, someone is going to be doing simulated porn scene, and people are going to be like debating on whether that was okay or not. I mean, I've never even seen anyone smell their fingers in porn. She kind of took it to a whole new level.
That's like the thing, though, right? Everybody wants the moment, and I think that's what it. I wouldn't even be surprised if that whole stunt was like, "Hey, where could we?" I mean, remember the whole like nipple?
Well, it was planned for sure
Justin
because they had a close-up shot on her. Someone explained that to me.
Well, exactly. Remember the whole like when Justin Timberlake like ripped off fucking Janet Jackson's top and like the nipple showed or something like that.
Yeah.
Like there's all these little like moments that happen, and who knows what what goes on behind the scenes for that. But to me, that just looked planned. It was like, how do we push the envelope here? How do we make it risque? Like, how do we get people really talking about this halftime show and everything else, but also still kind of ride that line to where like you're still going to get half the crowd that's going to defend it and go, get over it, you're just being a prude. So it seems very strategic to me. It seems very planned. I mean, how many times do you think they rehearsed that with the whole lifts and the people?
I heard none. None?
No
That's
way.
what I heard.
They at least move that shit up and down with people on it and stuff like that. And they have the whole thing like mapped out.
Somebody else fell off.
Really?
I saw that clip.
Yeah, there was somebody that was like right on the edge. They were like further back on the platform, and they like kind of stumbled and fell backwards. Like, you're dead, dude.
Wow. I'd like to see that. Is that easy to pull up?
Let me see.
How? Okay, guys. We're gonna have Rihanna on. She's pregnant. She just had a baby and she's pregnant. How can we sexualize her?
Well, then they'll spin it. They'll say this is a feminine thing. This is feminism. Like guys will do it. You had Elvis shaking his hips. You had Michael Jackson grabbing his crotch. But now that a woman does it.
Oh, here we go. Is it actual video?
Yep.
Wow. Wow. That's scary.
Well, he just would have been caught by the harness in a cable because of
Oh,
the
they were wearing harnesses?
Yeah, everybody on there was harnessed. So there was a metal or a cable that came up from behind underneath them, and they were wearing a harness.
I thought when they were dancing underneath those platforms, I thought, holy shit, if one of those drops on Rihanna and flattens her like a pancake, that would be incredible.
Or would it just be considered an abortion?
Ah, good question. Very good question. That is a very good question. That is a very good question. We aborted her at 33 years old. We aborted 2 babies at once.
BOGO.
Oh shit.
Rihanna was on the platform. No, but at some point she was underneath the platform. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, they took her off.
You don't know. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Hey, by the way, too,
Yeah.
we took this. Sorry, one last piece about this. We took a bet, like a fun bet at the gym. Grace always makes these little games, and so one of the bets was for the nutrition challenge team was like, what is Rihanna? What's the song Rihanna's going to open with? And then everybody got a list of her hits, and then each team got to pick, and then whatever, they all had to like do burpees if they're the winner. And everybody agreed that there is no way. And I made the joke because at the top I was like, oh, Rihanna, such family favorites such as Bitch Better Have My Money, and like was joking about the name of the song, right? Yeah. And so everybody was like, there's no way that's even an option. They're not going to start with the first words coming in with that beat and then her going, Bitch Better Have My, and they did.
That was it? That's what they started with?
Opening song. Yeah, so right from then I was kind of shaking my head and I was like, man, that's funny because that was all planned.
Hey, and I remember when I was a kid and on The Simpsons, Bart Simpson said bitch, and it was like the whole world stopped. Mm-hmm. Kill 2 birds with 1 stage. Thank you, Stephen Flores. Elaine, I'm sorry. Not sorry.
That was a joke, people.
Okay, Stephen Flores. It just makes me happy that Stephen's listening to the show with being that astute. 442. Some of you thought I was joking. I am not joking. When I say these cities are full of zombies, I'm not like saying that to be cute or because of like poetic license. Like I really think that they are zombies. Like there were people, like I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple months ago, one of the zombies bit a guy's ear off, and they said you could see his fucking brain or something on a subway platform in Portland. Do you remember that?
The fuck? No.
Yeah, and it was
I do remember that,
it was a fentanyl guy. A fentanyl guy attacked an old man on the subway. I mean, literally, if you go to these towns, the people are just like, well, it's like that.
Rocky?
Yeah, yes, Sylvester Stallone. It's nuts. And there's thousands of them. Yeah, Seattle is a shithole. That is true. That is a new Sorry Elaine. That's a good shirt, Philip. Okay, let's go ahead and play this. This is fun. Here we go.
It's hard. It's called necrotic. The tissue underneath is dead.
If you've ever wondered what could make fentanyl, probably the most lethal street drug in modern history, any worse, tonight we have the answer. Trank. Drug users turned into real-life zombies right down to the rotten flesh. We didn't want to believe it either, but it is real and it is here. All documented in this DEA report, the growing threat of xylazine mixing with illicit drugs. Xylazine is an animal tranquilizer. Trank is what you get when you mix it with fentanyl. Lab hits for xylazine are up 112% in the West. Deaths are rising too into the triple digits. Xylazine has been confirmed in overdose deaths in Snohomish and King counties, at least 12 that we know of. And those most familiar with the drug fear, it will get much worse. As if fentanyl wasn't deadly enough, suppliers are mixing in a new ingredient and creating a new drug crisis from the East Coast to Puget Sound. It goes by many names.
Fetty powder, trank dope is the big one. Everyone seems to kind of know what trank dope is.
It's strong enough for big animals like horses. When it's mixed with fentanyl, it gives users a brand new kind of high. What it does to the human body is so terrible, it looks like a film effect. Sarah and her team are treating trank addicts every day, doing their best with bandages, compassion, and Narcan. But while it still remedies fentanyl overdoses, Narcan doesn't block the ill effects of xylazine in the body.
It's all dead. Necrotic skin.
It honestly makes my skin crawl. Like when I hear about this stuff, it's disgusting.
Hey, those people need to be put in hyperbaric chambers immediately, by the way. That's their only chance. Don't think I'm joking. When there's getting high is fun. I don't understand. It's
Not
so
off
fun.
that shit though. God.
Okay. 441. You're not allowed to ask the definition of words. This is politically correct is such a weird thing. I can't believe I used to buy this shit. By the way, I said to when I was having lunch with Greg the other day, he said something about certain people being hopeless and never waking up, getting red pilled. And I said, what are you talking about? I go, I woke up. And he goes, dude, it took me 10 years to wake you up. It's like, all right, asshole. But he's not lying. All right. 441. This is just nuts again. Here we go.
You said that you're a trans woman.
I trans female, yes, sir.
Do you have a penis?
That's horrible.
You're the one that brought that into the discussion. You said that you're a trans woman.
Wait,
I trans female, yes.
All he's doing is asking for a definition. There's nothing offensive there. So when you say you're a trans woman, that's so if when I point to my my sister and I say that's my sister, everyone knows that what I'm saying is that girl is a product of my dad's penis going into my mom and then my mom birthing that girl out of her vagina. Or a C-section. I don't mean to be closed-minded. That's what I'm saying. That's what the word sister means, right? But instead of saying all of that, we use the word sister as the signifier. But that's 100% what it means. I mean, sister with an A is something different. But sister with an ER means that you came from the same vagina I did and the same dude boned your mom.
Or
Right?
for Elaine, hermana.
Hermana. Thank you. Hermana. Ella, hermana. Now, if this person sits down and they say I'm a trans female and you just want to be clear, because there are some times when someone might say that's my sister and I'll be like, oh, you look nothing alike, and be like, oh, well, we have different dads, or well, she's not really my sister, but we were raised together, like we were neighbors, and so we just call each other sister, right? And so you're trying to figure out, and so first, if you're not allowed to ask if this thing has a penis. By the way, I love that look on women. Like where the shirts, the tits are compromising the integrity of the buttons there. You see that? How it's like just pulling on it. checking the what's it called? The tinder strength, the tinsel strength of the tinsel strength of the thread used on the buttons. It's just, how are you not allowed to ask that? I don't understand even how that's remotely offensive. You just said by saying you're a trans woman, that is what what you're trying to say is, I have a penis. I was born with a penis, but I want to be considered someone with a vagina, and I may have chopped off my penis or not. I mean, you're opening the door. Why not just say you're a woman or you're a man? Or I don't get why you can't ask that. It just seems like that, like now you're not even allowed to ask the definitions of words. By the way, what is that thing sitting in the back there? That's like, is that Humpty Dumpty?
It's a basketball.
It looks like a South Park character.
It does.
I don't mean to be mean. It is what it is.
My favorite part is the fact that whatever that is is resting her hands on the stomach, like the phone is that's just used as like a platform.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, if that is a dude, that's the most attractive transgender person I've ever seen. That thing's got like Monica Lewinsky vibe, like just.
It's scary.
Yeah.
I thought it was a chick.
He's hot. And looks thick. That looks like just like a thick girl. Sorry, it is what it is. I cannot lie. I don't necessarily like those kind of haircuts that are like That she's getting close to the mentally ill haircut. I like parted in the middle. I'm a 70s Charlie's Angels kind of guy. Sevan, you nailed it. Well, if they want to be a woman so bad, then why say I'm trans? Just say I'm a woman. And yeah, and then I think it's okay to ask, do you have a cock? I mean, it's a little weird, but that's where it's a little. Dude, we just saw Rihanna fucking fingering her vagina and smelling it on the biggest TV show that we do in this country. Why it's asking someone if they have a cock is somehow, I think it's right in line. We're just right in line with the
big old double standard there.
Yeah, get with the times. Hey, what if Rihanna would have gone like this instead of like this?
Like this.
Canceled.
Yeah.
Canceled.
Yeah. Like this. Yeah.
And then everybody say, no, she's rolling dice. She's shooting the craps table.
Oh, that's
baby.
racist.
Shooting the craps table.
Okay. 4:40. We're about to get to some juicy shit, people. Brace yourself. So we're just getting warmed up. How are we on time? Everyone good?
I was hoping you'd take me out to breakfast after this.
Yeah, let's do that. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is from Jay Neezy's Instagram account. It's been on the show a couple times. I need to have him on again. And so here we go. I forget. This is called a red pill. Oh, this is someone getting red pilled. Okay, here we go.
You want to know what waking up is like?
Pause. She says, you know what? You want to know what waking up is like? So this is, I guess, a scene from Aaron Brockovich. So we may even get in trouble for showing this, but we'll just cut it out afterwards. Okay, here we go.
You ever watch Aaron Brockovich? You remember that part where she's sitting in the living room with that woman that had all those cancers and stuff, and she's telling them, about what's going on, and the woman says, well, that just can't be true because the doctor said that none of this is connected. Our doctors told us that. And then Aaron Brockovich looks at her and says, but GE paid for that doctor, didn't they? And all of a sudden the woman realizes that GE paid that doctor to lie to her to cover their own ass from the hexavalent chromium that was in their water that was causing all their cancer. That was a true story. Okay. And in that moment, when that woman realizes what's going on, she immediately runs out and grabs her daughters out of the pool, out of the water, full of that hexavalent chromium that was giving her multiple cancers. That is what waking up is like. You realize that everything that you've been told is a complete and total lie, that you have been manipulated by the people that you were supposed to trust. That's why we fight. That's why we start.
You have been completely manipulated by the people you trust to take offense to words that mean nothing. The doctors fucking, oh my God. So, hey, I had an old person tell me that one time about 3 years ago. Most hardcore liberal person I know. It really influenced me in becoming a fucking libtard my whole life. From when I was 5 years old to 35. And I was telling her, I was like, hey man, this is all bullshit. None of the shit the doctors are saying is true. They don't even know. They're just pushers for the pharmacies. And I was showing her all the stuff about statins and about the vasovasorum and about blood clots and just all this shit. This is like maybe 5 years ago. I'm telling her this. And she goes, I can't even listen to you. And I go, why is that? She goes, because I have so much trust in doctors. This scares the shit out of me. That's the thing, right, Stephen? Is it okay to ask a tranny if they're pre or post-op? I mean, it should all be okay. It should all be okay. We're in this weird political correctness. It's like when you see a fucking dwarf and we all just want to stare. It's totally fair. We're just completely blown away. No, at least I'm not. I don't know anyone who's in their head is like making fun of them. You're just tripping because you've never seen a small person like that. It's like, well, we all like watching Logan Collins. What's his name? Logan Collins work out. We're tripping on the dude with one arm fucking doing a fucking 200-pound clean. It's okay. Stare away. Ask away. It's okay to ask a dwarf. It's okay to ask a dwarf. Hey, I'm 5'5" and I have trouble getting my cock and balls up some of the urinals in a fancy restaurant. What do you do? I mean, you're 2'5".
That's just sharing techniques right there.
Tyler, thank you. Tyler Watkins, waking up for a lot of people will see fish floating belly up in the Kentucky River here in about a month from the Ohio train. It's all good. Nah, they won't. That's not going to wake them up. But I appreciate your Christian Leon, having a penis is embarrassing for a woman. That is a fucking weird sentence. Oh, Logan Aldridge. Sorry, Logan Aldridge. Sorry, thank you. Jedediah Snelson. That is a very weird sentence. Wait, where was that sentence? God, can't even get my head wrapped around it. Having a penis is embarrassing for a woman. Well, let me try. Having a vagina is embarrassing for a man. Okay. I sorry, I had to selfishly work it so I could. Yeah, I like that. I am not a Noah Olsen hater. You have to know that. That's a tough way to start a next bit, right? Mm-hmm. I am not a Noah Olsen hater.
But
and I do feel bad that Noah has lost his hearing in one of his ears.
So that's like 100% true. He totally can't hear out of his right ear.
I that's what he's reporting on his Instagram, and I didn't see it on his Instagram. I was looking at Scott Schweitzer's Instagram. Could you pull up or maybe it's, I don't know if he has his own Instagram or if I was on Clydesdale Media's Instagram, but Schweitzer reported that Noah can't hear, and if you do look up, unfortunately, if you do look up COVID vaccine hearing loss, you will find several studies that show there is a direct connection. And I don't know if Noah is vaccinated, but I highly suspect he is. He is a man of the people. God, I'd like you, Noah. I'm so nice to you. I'm back. Don't worry. Yeah. Noah Olsen reports in an IG reel that he lost his hearing in the right ear. How come his shit looks so much nicer than our shit? God, we need Will Brandstetter back. Look how nice that post is. The yellow and black. Good. And if you click 439, the Bleacher Report. Oh, okay. Life happens. Sometimes you got to do what you can with what you've got. So he's lost his hearing in one ear. If you just, I ask if you want to just look up studies, just type in COVID vaccine hearing loss, and you will see fucking 10 studies pop up, all of them showing that there's a significant increase in hearing loss for people who get the vaccine. And here's the thing. I was talking to a doctor yesterday, and I was like, hey, what's your thought on that? He goes, dude, the vaccine causes clotting. And anytime you have clotting, it's going to fuck with it's going to manifest in all sorts of places. He said something about thrombosis. Is thrombosis clotting? But here you go. This is also a few days ago. Celtics Derek White to see ear specialist after having trouble hearing. You know, he's vaccinated. He's in the NBA. And that's just a quick look.
Thrombosis is coagulation or clotting of blood.
Yeah. So we're gonna just see all sorts of weird stuff because that's what it causes. That's what the vaccine causes. I think that's my but I'm pretty open-minded. Yes, thrombosis is clotting. Thank you, Mr. Ortega. So, Noah, I hope you have speedy recovery and get unclotted. On that note, let's just go hard now that we're going to go hard in the paint. Damar Hamlin has spoken up about his injury. And here on the Sevan Podcast, for the 18th millionth time posted on the internet. I wish I could say we were first with this. Or not even close. You will hear in Damar Hamlin's own words. How do you name your kid Damar? Sevan is taken Damar. Damar Hamlin has now spoken about what caused his blood clot. And you will be, go ahead, listen. We'll talk about it afterwards. Listen, here we go, people.
The question on so many minds, what caused his heart to stop beating?
You're 24, peak physical condition, can run circles around me right now. How did doctor describe what happened to you?
That's something I want to stay away from.
I know from my experience at NFL, they do more tests.
He wants to stay away from that topic right now.
Did anybody ever come?
And then it goes on to say, hey, he asked him, hey, did you have any signs of ill health? And Damar says, no, I'm a fucking perfect human being with no fucking issues.
Back when you say you had a heart issue or anything that was abnormal?
Honestly, no. I've always been a healthy, young, fit, energetic, human being, let alone athlete. So it was something that was just that we still processing, and I'm still talking through with my doctors just to see what everything was.
So,
it's interesting. Vindicate goes, they told him don't say shit. I go, pending lawsuit. He doesn't want to say anything. That's right where I go to. So it's funny. It was like, he was like, well, they told him not to say anything and he's going with the agenda. I'm thinking he's going to fucking sue the shit out of all of them. And he can't say anything because it might jeopardize the case.
You're 100% right. And at that point, I do want to say this in defense of Pfizer. Maybe there is, I can't even say this with a straight face. Maybe there is nothing wrong with the vaccine, but he's just in case he can get some money out of it. He wants
Pfizer.
to. Thanks.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
He's in the NFL, for fuck's sake. They're scrutinized and checked multiple times a year. Next level athletes. Yeah. I mean, they invest so much time and money into them, right? Fuck. Wow. So, I mean, once again, I think it's totally fair just to completely run wild with that. And you know what happened to him.
Is this true? Pfizer is the NFL's 7th largest sponsor at $120 million per year, coming in just under Bill Gates. Bill Gates part I made up.
Hey, do you want me to look that up, Caleb? Did you see that?
The sponsors?
Yeah, is Pfizer really? Holy shit! I wonder if you can just copy and paste that. No.
I mean, there's something ridiculous too that like a huge percentage of the money that comes into the major networks is all from Pfizer. Isn't it something ridiculous? Like more than 60% of all the major networks?
I was going to say more than 40, but it's something huge.
Okay, so if I pay you more than 60%, what does that make you?
Right. They own me.
Right.
I don't see Pfizer on here.
Pfizer sacks pharma competition in early NFL advertising.
Wait, but they got like Head and Shoulders, but like AWS. Could it be Microsoft?
I guess it could be. I don't know how, like who owns what, but it could. I mean, I think Head and Shoulders is owned by a larger company.
Johnson & Johnson probably.
Yeah.
Like a Procter and Gamble.
More than 175 million impressions with $9.5 million in media spending put Pfizer in the top spot with 65% share of voice across NFL pharma spending, according to the real-time TV ad tracker. This is from September of 2022. I mean, they're somehow involved, right?
Always. Well, if they sponsor all the networks that is coming through right there, it's like I just got a message.
This next one's gonna blow you guys away. This show that's on TV, this View show with Whoopi Goldberg is fucking nuts. I do not know how that show is still on. How are those people just not completely?
Is that ABC?
I don't know how those people are allowed to. How do those people even walk around on the streets with the shit that they say?
I don't think they do.
Oh, I can't say blown away. Sorry. Mind blown? Blown?
What network is The View on? ABC?
Little? I'm not sure. It's
ABC,
great. I don't even know if it's The View. Maybe it's The Voice. I don't know what show it's on, but it's some show where the girls stand around, or girls are it's just women with eating disorders, either obese women or women who are too skinny. It's kind of a trip, that table of women.
And isn't ABC owned by Disney? And Disney
Yes,
also owns
Disney, ESPN, and
Fox
ABC are all
too,
the
right?
same. No,
Isn't
Fox is
Fox in
separate.
that?
No, Fox is separate. That's Rupert Murdoch shit. Okay, 437. This one is you can let's start at the top and we'll go down. The topic is, I'm going to show you 4 clips, and the topic is this is continuously using skin color to manipulate the masses. Here we go.
I have a quote from you here. It says, I think that they're meaning the Black Lives Matter movement, whole existence is just a liberal progressive socialist movement to make sure they keep the Black community on the 21st century economic plantation that's been created by the left. Would you like to clarify that?
I can clarify it very easily. You can follow the money, and the money of Black Lives Matter goes back to a guy, George Soros. So that tells you one thing. And let me tell you, all lives matter. It's not just about Black Lives Matter. Okay? Now, if you really are concerned, start talking about school choice in the Black community. If you really are concerned, start talking about the decimation of the Black family, which I don't hear. Do not be manipulated by people that are using you as a political tool so that you can keep your own people suppressed. Get off the plantation and think on your own.
So I have a quote.
Bam. Damn. Number 2, keep going. School choice. There you go. School choice. By the way, that's not just for Black people. White people need to start focusing on that too. You're in the exact same fucking spot.
I think the American people need to focus on that.
Yeah. Thank you. Here we go. Doesn't want to let you play?
No, here you go.
Violent and oppressive people.
Well, yeah.
That's what you said in your film.
And if you're going to go back
So that would seem to me that
statistics point that out too.
Oh, really? Well, the Chinese were massacring Chinese and other races long before they'd ever met a white person. Attila the Hun wasn't white. It's the same in the subcontinent if you go back hundreds of years as well. The genocide in Rwanda was black on black. So is the Congo, which is the rape capital of the world.
When it comes to education, the whole system needs to change.
But let me look at education. Let's look at the figures on education. 33% of white kids go to university or further education. 37% of black kids go to university or further education. 67% of Indian kids go to university or further education. 76% of Chinese kids go to university or further education. Said whites are the most violent.
So there you go. More just crazy shit, right? Just lies. So that if you, it's basically, it's once again, it's the left. It's the white people on the left who are just manipulating the data and using skin color to beat it. And melanated people are eating this shit up. It's great. Well, and rich white people. Not this rich white person. Actually.
First black elected office in America is 1641. First black elected office in Great Britain is 1987. First black elected office in Russia is 2010. 1641, and we're the bad guys in this? No, we weren't
who
perfect.
was that person, and what was the
Matthias D'Souza, who was elected in
Do you
Maryland.
think that stuff is not being taught today because it lends credence to the stuff that these guys did? That it's combined and inseparable?
Well, it's not taught today because it doesn't help other agendas get where they want to. You know, part of Marxism is you have to have conflict. And if black and white relations aren't as bad as they tell us, then it's harder for them to get the conflict they want. So if they can make people angry by not teaching history, they will. And they don't care whether it's race or gender or age, or they're going to find something to create friction on. But the better we know our history, the harder it is for us to be led astray into something that's destructive. America.
Okay. And finally, this is the one that's fucking completely nuts. You know what's funny? So I watched the Super Bowl for the first time in I don't know how long. And I used to be a huge football fan back in the day. And I remember Philadelphia, when I used to watch football, they had a quarterback and his name was Randall Cunningham. And he was a black dude. And I also remember the Houston Oilers had a black dude as a quarterback too. I don't even think that's a football team anymore, the Houston Oilers.
No.
I forget his name. But they never referred to them as black quarterbacks. But I remember Randall Cunningham, I think, was like the best running quarterback in the NFL at the time. And I just found it fascinating that people like this can get away with saying this shit. I mean, this shit is just fucking nuts what I'm about to show you. I can't believe how this is just oh, Warren Moon. Thank you, Cobra. Warren Moon. Yeah. I don't think Warren was so fast though. I think Warren wasn't so fast. Great quarterback though. And I just can't fucking believe this shit is like this. It's just fucking nuts.
That would have made it better for me is, finally we know that black quarterbacks can lead teams. And are
I hate the way she even gesticulates.
I always knew that. That was never a question. We knew that. But, it takes people a minute to catch up.
The only thing that would have made it better for me.
Takes you a fucking lifetime to catch up.
Yeah, it takes you fucking go eat a Big Mac.
Why aren't people shitting on her for eating on the show?
Oh, is she eating on the show?
Yes.
Who was? Whoopi was?
Yes, Whoopi's eating on the show.
What sucks is Whoopi used to be so cool, or at least I used to be so stupid. I liked her as a kid.
Did she lives inside that bubble, that Hollywood bubble? You can't be cool and stay inside that Hollywood bubble because two things are going to happen. You're either going to morph and conform 100%, or you're going to be outcasted. Just got a piece of cake.
Yeah, what the hell? And I get lit up.
It's weird that Ted Danson used to put it to her.
I don't know who Ted Danson is.
The guy from Cheers.
I've never heard of that show. I'm just messing with you about
the
show.
It's fine. It's one that were like 4 channels or 5 channels.
Yeah, it had this where everybody knows your name. Right?
436. I used to love Whoopi as a kid. Yeah, you did too? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that old Batman movie saying you either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain.
This is the trippiest Instagram post. Have you seen this one, Caleb?
Yes, I hate it.
It's fucking remarkable. It's called what's it called? Things that are not so satisfying. This was made back in 2016 when we made the unsatisfying video, short about little frustrations of everyday life. This is an amazing video.
I've never seen this.
You already see the theme, right?
No.
Oh, jeez. I like the keyboard strokes. Oh, this one is horrible. Oh, fuck. Oh, jeez. So many memories. It's like my whole childhood. It's good, right?
Yeah, that one's scary because you go to pick up that firework to check what happened, and then it goes off in your hand.
She was never cool, Sevi. All right, fine. I'm open to that. Anyway, Caleb, you can bring yourself back when you come back. Oh, he's gone.
I think he's probably using the restroom.
Maybe he's gonna go. Hey, Caleb, you should have left the one at the beginning of that video. Then you'd be back to pull up the next.
He's back.
Oh, he's back. Okay. Stop bad mouthing him. Did you pee? That was fast.
No, my dog was barking.
Oh. Let's see. Do you want to? We could go to the top. We could go to the top and get some of these top ones just because it's kind of fun getting rid of these old ones. Oh, hey, I don't know if I want to tell you guys about Tyson Bagent, Travis's son, really quick. If I haven't told you guys already, I know he's been on the show twice. I know people have joked, thought it was fun to take the piss out of me because I think he's I don't know shit about football, and I think he's going to be the greatest quarterback who ever lived. But let me tell you something. Tyson just played at the Senior Bowl, which is the most prestigious college football game that you can be invited to. And he was the quarterback there, obviously. He is also has the most touchdown passes in the history of college football. He has recently graduated. He will be eligible for the draft this year. I suspect he will be drafted very, very high. But at the Senior Bowl, where he just played, he threw 17 completions. And that number means nothing until you realize that the next most amount of completions by a quarterback who played in that game was 11. And those were 5 of the best quarterbacks in college football today who he played against, which is a huge, significant margin. And then also all the players voted for who was like the coolest dude there. And guess who won?
Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson.
That's awesome.
And the implication of that is that he's a good leader. He's a good person. People will want to follow him.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to be as a quarterback. So
I just had this premonition of you standing on the sideline of an NFL game watching him play.
Yeah. I mean, I want Tyson to do well because he's my friend's son. But first and foremost, I want him to do well so I can say I had him on my show twice.
I can save you up to 50% on your electricity bill.
Oh, Shepherd's first Senior Bowl invitee and participant, Bagent completed 17 of 22 passes for 138 yards in the game. And he was only allowed to play like a little at the end of the third quarter and fourth quarter. So pretty damn good. All right, that's it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's bet $800 on the draft.
There's somebody at my door.
Did Tyson work out with Danielle Brandon? No, but I I'm on this text thread. They probably pulled me off, but I sent a text to Danielle and to Tyson, and I introduced them. Spiegel, Sevan, he had a good showing, but you are drinking Drano if you think he's getting drafted high. I know he's going to make a shit ton of money. I'll tell you that. Oh,
Give me a sponsor of the podcast.
David, you don't even live in the United States. How about you blow me? Or even better, why don't you go to your CrossFit gym and get blown by someone? I did, yeah. Cobra. I saw Travis on the NFL Network. I know, that was cool. Of course I did. He sends that to all of us, right, Cobra? The second Travis was on that, he starts sending out the clip. Yeah, it's a shame. I know. What's crazy too is you and I have seen him do that shtick 1,000 times. It never gets old, right? And he's just perfected it. They think he's going to be all gentle and shit and like humble, and he will just go up against one of the commentators and just fucking smash them and be like, "Hey, you have no chance against me." I mean, he goes the total opposite way of how other people would do it. It's cool. Okay. But I follow football more than you do, you ding dong, David Reed. How about this? 22. I just can't believe this. I don't even know what it is. 22. I just can't believe this.
It's gone.
It is, okay. 23. You're a world-class clown. How about that? Is that gone? Making fun of Joe after you preached mask wearing and vaccines under your bullshit doctor's degree. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. That's Steffi Cohen.
Best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to.
Oh my gosh.
So inspirational.
It's so crazy because she's a full proponent of all the dumb shit that guy does. She's as blue pilled as they get. It's always weird when someone that's hardworking is blue pilled to me, like has worked so hard to get what they want. How about this one, 25? This one looks old. This is something. It says Charlemagne. So what? Let's see what this. This might be some Kanye stuff from back in the day. I'm digging. I've switched sides of the list. I have two sides of my list, and this old side needs to be hacked on a bit. So that's what we're doing here.
Black people, we don't have no power. No matter what we do, we can all click up. We don't have no organization that holds any weight. NAACP don't hold no weight. We don't have no organization that holds no weight. You can't speak bad about a Jewish person because they have organizations and they're a close-knit group of people in power who will bring you down. Same thing with gays. You can't say nothing bad about gays because they move as a unit. Black people don't have that.
I mean, if you do a racist comment about Black people, there are repercussions.
When?
You don't just walk away from that.
Who? Give me an example.
I mean, Kramer.
That's because he was white. And nothing really bad happened to him. You know why nothing bad happened to him?
I never really heard from him again.
I think because he got so rich that he was just cool.
Nah, Kramer got whacked. Hey, and then play the one right below that. You have to go. The presupposition there, by the way, is that there's a difference between Black people and Jewish people and Chinese people. Like, first you have to categorize people. It's like, so what? So if there's a lot of Jews who work in Hollywood, who gives a shit? Okay, here we go.
Charlemagne, you got some explaining to do. You recently said this about Kanye West.
That's only excuse, them being Nazis. And, if you attack Black people and Jewish people within the span of a week, then you are indeed a Nazi.
But wait, you don't remember you said this? Roll the clip.
You know why there's not a lot of Jewish rappers? Because there's Jewish owners and Jewish CEOs. They run these labels. They're the bosses. That's why I'm uncomfortable.
What did Kanye say?
I'm uncomfortable too. Susan was uncomfortable earlier.
It's the truth.
I get it though. You prove a Kanye point. They cut your checks. You're afraid. You expressed your fear in the interview. It's cool. We got you. We know you, bro. Charlemagne, you got some explaining.
I don't even. I've beat that horse to death, but it's just all just idiot talk. 28. This gym wants people to get better themselves. This is what a CrossFit gym looks like. Now look at this gym. Okay, 28. Let's play 28. I think this is a CrossFit gym that I saw something that I really like. Okay, so this is a Blue Cord CrossFit ways to beat the coronavirus. Have we already looked at this?
I think so.
Yeah, we have. We had the owner of this gym on.
Oh, and that's why we looked at it. Okay. Ways to beat the coronavirus, run 1 mile, back squat your own body weight. If you can't do 1 and 2, walk in and join. Like that to me screams CrossFit. Like that's us as a people. That's it. That's all you need. But I'm a tranny. It's okay. Come on in. But I'm a dwarf. It's okay. It's okay. You can come in. But my BLM sign won't fit through the front door. That's okay. Just leave it outside. No one will steal it. You can get it on the way out. Now here's a gym. And that's what it looks like when you want to share. Now here's a gym. It's called the Foundation Gym. And look at I commented here. Jim, who says you have to have a minimum level of CrossFit experience, clearly shows their lack of coaching expertise. Yeah. I mean, this fucking gym, I think I've already done this bit, right?
Yeah, it's where the drop-ins had to be vaccinated or whatever.
Yeah, fine. I'll leave them alone.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Sorry, guys, wasted your time there.
We do need to have Adam Klink on, though.
Oh, what did you say?
I said we do need to have Adam Klink on, though.
Oh, yeah, we do.
He did make that comment.
Yeah, that's a good dude.
Did you see Colton Merton's reel?
Oh, yeah, it's so funny. I don't ever realize how stupid I sound until. Thank you, Caleb. Here we go. I am so manly. My fingers are so rough that when I touch my face, it like hurts my
Did you
face.
say I am so manly?
Yeah, that's how manly my hands are.
Wow.
My hands are like sandpaper. Get through this. Let's do it. Let's not dilly dally. You know. And that popped up in my feed, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like me. That's a really weird thing to say.
That was you.
It's a fucking trip.
Oh my goodness. They're not very rough this morning. 73, Sean G. Been a while since we've heard from Sean G. Let's hear from Sean G.
Been a long while.
Long while. I'm surprised I haven't met him yet or had him on the show. Sean G.
I love these.
What's up, man? You all by yourself, kid. You all by yourself. Ain't nobody coming. Ain't nobody coming. All they gonna do is talk about you and talk about your fall and how stupid you was and the bad decision you made. You understand? They're not gonna say it to your face. They're gonna be saying that shit behind your back. But at the end of the day, that shit don't matter. Fuck them. You understand?
Yeah. Below parallel. Below parallel. Good job, dude.
You on your own, and you gonna have to make your own comeback. You gonna have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, say, yo, Sean, what I'm doing. You understand? I got to get up out of this. You gonna have to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. It's gonna be something you never did. This gonna probably be the worst situation you ever been in your life, but you on your own. Nobody's coming. Stop waiting. Get up out the bed. You're going to have to come up out of that depression. You're going to have to come up out of that depression. That shit is necessary, right? But you can't stay there too long. That shit'll fuck you up. You got to get up out of that. And remember, you on your own. And listen, I've been there, right where you at. And you can do it. And you better do it. Sean G. All my links in the bio.
Sean G. I want to say, he's just walks. He's like there, right? Like buying condoms or a razor or something.
Condoms.
And then, or I don't know what he's buying, what he buys. And then he's inspired, right? Like that's what I think. And then he's inspired. Like that just popped in his head. He's not like, oh, I'm going to go to CVS today and make a video. He's in there. And he's inspired, so he posts his camera up on like a fucking like in between a box of douches and some Pete's coffee that they sell. You know what I mean? And then hits record on that shit. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, 100%.
And then he
definitely
just hops around and does a couple air squats and.
Yeah. And I think the whole thing is impromptu. Yeah, I think the whole thing is impromptu.
I'd love to see if people have stopped him before. Because I always watch the people in the background, like as he's doing it.
Nah,
like,
they're terrified of him.
Like think like what's this guy doing or something like that. But I've seen him interact with people where he's like doing his thing and then he like turns and he's like, "What's up? How we doing today?" Like goes back into his video because they're like staring at him.
No one fucks with if like once you start talking to yourself in public, people just leave you alone. I don't think anyone says shit to him unless they recognize him. Sean G.
I tried to get a cameo.
Did anyone see Steph getting destroyed on IG for saying she would never get an OnlyFans? No, but what's so funny about that is, I mean, her Instagram account is like an OnlyFans. One of my friends who has an OnlyFans page told me that I don't know if I should reveal the business secrets, but basically Steph Cohen could make a huge amount of money by just taking her Instagram posts where she's exploring being a woman and she could just put those behind a paywall and people would pay money for them thinking that they were there's women who are not showing nipple or beeve or labia majora and making a killing on OnlyFans. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's see. I mean, she already got big fake titties, right? You're at the 51-yard line for an OnlyFans. I'm not judging you, but it ain't honest work. Come on with the double speech. Oh, okay. Let's hear.
OnlyFans. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't feel like it's it doesn't make me feel like I'm a valuable contributing member to society to be
That's fair.
selling my body
Okay.
on a
I hear you.
page and essentially profiting from vulnerable men. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Now, I don't have anything against women who would choose to do that. It's just not what I consider making an honest living personally.
No.
I
Fuck. If I had a hat, I'd take it off to her. I'd like all that. Fine, I get it. It's not all men are vulnerable, by the way. We're all like, there's always a dude jacking off in a bed under you.
Yeah, you never know. Never know. On laundry night.
Yeah, that was a good answer. By the way, I like that look for her. That was speaking of vulnerable, that was a vulnerable look for her. That's the best I've ever seen her look. Just kind of just like that, rolled out of bed, no makeup. Like, that was cool. Thanks for showing me that. I like that. 76. Whoa, we're going to YouTube. This is gangster. James Toland, finally. Thank you. I've been waiting for your money.
Video's not available anymore.
Matt's comment at 203 section is basically this. Oh, I don't know if we can. Oh, that video on YouTube. Isn't that funny? That video is you don't get your own pronouns and it's gone. Figures. I don't know how we would take this guy. Do you know how we would take that?
Got it.
You do? How? What? How? Okay, fine. Here we go.
Else's fault. You ever hear the saying, you run into an asshole in the morning, you ran into an asshole. You run into assholes all day, you're the asshole.
I don't get that.
That was like what I was saying to you, like you go from one job to the other, then we ask why you left, and you're like, oh, my boss was an asshole, like they didn't get me, or all my exes are crazy.
So if you're always seeing assholes throughout the day, maybe you're the asshole.
I'm so literal. I was actually like picturing someone's like head bumping up against a giant like Cheerio, like an asshole. That's why I couldn't get that. Isn't that weird? Like I didn't know he was talking about assholes figuratively. That's weird. I have issues.
This room is freezing.
Mine's freezing too. Mine is so
Fuck.
cold. I'm so tempted to run a 1-minute commercial, make a cup of coffee. I am so fucking cold. And we're in the desert.
Yeah.
Franco Dubac, but using already established athletes to pretend to program in your platform is a noble way of making money. Using already established. Yeah. I mean, what if there was I'll give you an example. There was a book publisher named, I cannot believe I can't remember his name, but there was a book publisher and he published a shit ton of books on marijuana and how to grow marijuana. And then I had a book on how to grow marijuana and I went to them and they're like, yeah. And I leveraged their skills in publishing books and their audience to make money. Hey, it's just like anyone who comes on this show, like someone like Taylor Self, for example. I'm not interested in paying Taylor money to come on the show and work for me. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have those kind of resources. But what I can offer is I can offer him the ability to leverage this platform in order to make money. And so he made some commercials and I ran them. We talk about his SMTP programming, and yeah, I think that's I feel like I'm doing those people a service. I'm helping them. They're lucky. They get to leverage my 20 years of interviewing experience and my 15 years of CrossFit relationships. Excuse me. Still waiting on that call. Look, Cobra has to pay me $5 to call him. Text me, bug me, Cobra. Sorry. Yeah, brother, I love talking to you, and I'm always just in a what's that called? Our buddy Collins taught me this word, Cobra. It's this phrase. I'm a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. What's Collins' first name? How come I can't remember it?
Is it Logan?
No. Thank you though. Yeah, this guy is a arm wrestling referee. The fuck? Matt, Chris, Mike, John. Sevan, are you getting my texts?
Okay. calling.
Now I know that's awesome. Now I have Trisha's phone number. You're fucked. No, this is not no, I'm not getting your text. Oh. Dude, do you know how much spam I've been getting from PayPal to fucking hack my account?
So they got you. You're hooked in the claws.
I'm a one-legged woman in an ass-licking contest. So here's the thing. I think Trish really is a woman. Do you think Trish is really a woman?
So incredibly crass woman.
Yeah, and it's and creative.
I don't.
Okay, fair. Okay.
I'm going, dude.
I'm pretty sure she Trish outed themselves yesterday. Said
they've gone back and forth a bunch of times though. So like, why did we pick that one as the outing and the mistake and not like?
Sometimes I feel like I can tell when she's being honest or not.
Really?
What was the word she used?
We don't even know what
fisherwoman.
they fucking look like.
Trish called himself fisherwoman. Franco
Yeah,
Duboc.
okay, and that's the fucking big spoiler. She's gone back and forth all the time. We don't even know what she looked like. It's like, for all we know, she's an AI bot. It's an AI bot.
Chat
She's an AI bot.
Oh, I would be so stoked if Trish was a tranny. Franco Duboc, example, Noah doesn't program for himself, training think tank does, yet Hybrid was selling Noah as the person who programmed for their CrossFit program. He doesn't even program for himself. Oh, maybe there's... Well, maybe he's better at programming for other... But I don't see the issue there, because... I definitely would, if I was a well-rounded athlete or if I was a person, I would need someone to program for me. I don't think I could do what like Miko or Fraser or what Rich do, is just focus on their weaknesses. So maybe just Noah needs someone to point out his weaknesses, but he's still great at programming. I don't see. Do you guys see what he's saying there? Is that bad? Like, why not? If someone was going to pay me to program for them, I would do it. If someone wanted to buy my programming, which you can, by the way, you can buy my kids' programming and the 50 videos I made.
Noah's got to make money somehow too.
On Sugar Star. Sugar
Wad?
Sugar Wad.
Sugar Star? Don't go to sugarstar.com. You know, it's not going to be
that
the programming you're looking for.
The new sponsor.
79. Hey, you know who I haven't seen in a long time? I haven't seen Jiggy Josh.
Oh, yeah.
The page isn't there anymore.
Kenya Clark, programming for yourself is rough. Yeah, I mean, it's easy for me because I don't. Which one did 79 is gone?
Yep.
Oh, I think that was a cool video too about canceling the word race. Okay, you want to do? Here's some more vaccines stuff. Let's do 91. God, that lady Walensky, that head of the CDC, is a monster, dude. I saw a video on her a couple days ago about making kids wear masks. She's not a good person. CDC walks back COVID guidance again, finding lasting post-vaccine heart problems in young adults. That's all you need to know. We all know that by now, right? It could even affect your hearing. How come? What's crazy is that there's like 110 comments in Noah's post, and not one person suggests that it could be thrombosis, that it could be clotting caused by the vaccine.
Whose comment is still there?
No, I think Noah would leave it. I think he'd leave it.
You think so?
I mean, I could leave one.
He'll leave yours. He'll leave yours.
I could leave one.
Trish, go leave a comment and see if he leaves yours.
The thing is this, people will want to respond right away. Oh, you're going to say that about everything. Oh, the tinfoil hat, all that. But like, that's where we are. That because there is the studies have been so poor, and there's no transparency.
What can't this vaccine do?
Yeah, anything. Yeah, right. Anything that has to do with clotting, you can point at it. 96, John Stossel gets schooled by Jordan Peterson. 96. Stossel's a pretty hardcore libertarian. I seen him and Greg get into a altercation one time. I thought Greg might kick his ass, to be honest. Thought might come up and punch him.
Wait, this dude and Greg?
Yeah. You know who this is? You recognize this guy?
Yeah. That's hilarious. That should have been on film.
We were at it might be. I might have it on film somewhere actually, to be honest.
Dude, if you had a bunch of old stuff that we could repurpose that was never before seen,
yeah,
that would be fucking amazing.
Caller, you're live.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
I'm on my way home.
Oh, okay. I'll wrap the show up then.
Okay.
Hey, and then we're going. Oh, can I go out to breakfast with Souza?
No, don't.
And then I could just take them to jiu-jitsu.
No, I'll do both. I'll take him to jiu-jitsu. I'll just bring Souza with me to jiu-jitsu, and then we'll go eat when the kids are doing jits.
Yeah. I don't.
Okay. How was the class? How was the class?
It was great. It was harder than I thought. A lot of running.
How were the kids? Were they behaved?
Very well behaved. Avi did the first round with us.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And we stretched at the end. Did a little meditating. They represented.
All right. You've been on the show for 1 minute. Bye.
1999.
Okay, John Stossel versus Jordan Peterson. Here we go.
By dangerous, that implies I should be ready to threaten someone, to hurt somebody.
No, you should be capable of it. But that doesn't mean you should use it. There's nothing to you otherwise. Like if you're not a formidable force, there's no morality in your self-control. If you're incapable of violence, not being violent isn't a virtue. People who teach martial arts know this full well, right? If you learn a martial art, you learn to be dangerous, but simultaneously you learn to control it. Both of those come together. And the combination of that capacity for danger and the capacity for control is what brings about the virtue. Otherwise, you confuse weakness with moral virtue. I'm harmless, therefore I'm good. It's like, no, that isn't how it works. That isn't how it works at all. If you're harmless, you're just weak. And if you're weak, you're not going to be good. You can't be, because it takes strength to be good. It's very difficult to be good.
By dangerous.
Do you guys, this is like fucking very easy to grasp and yet super high horsepower red pill thinking. This is all context and relativity. The reason why it's the same people that want to get kids vaccinated, even though the chances of a kid dying from COVID are 1 in 10 gabillion, they can't put things in context or relativity. This is, I mean, can we play that again? It's so fucking good. You can't be moral or virtuous as a peaceful person and a kind person unless you have the ability to not be.
That implies I should be ready to threaten someone, to hurt somebody.
No, you should be capable of it. But that doesn't mean you should use it. There's nothing to you otherwise. Like if you're not a formidable force, there's no morality in your self-control. If you're incapable of violence, not being violent isn't a virtue. People who teach martial arts know this full well, right? If you learn a martial art, you learn to be dangerous, but simultaneously you learn to control it. Both of those come together. And the combination of that capacity for danger and the capacity for control is what brings about the virtue. Otherwise, you confuse weakness with moral virtue. I'm harmless, therefore I'm good. It's like, no, that isn't how it works. That isn't how it works at all. If you're harmless, you're just weak. And if you're weak, you're not going to be good. You can't be, because it takes strength to be good. It's very difficult to be good.
This is why language is so important. This is the exact fucking cousin of confusing skin color for black people. It's so fucking crazy. Weakness, if you're just fucking weak, you're just fucking weak. There is no weakness without strong. There is no peaceful without violence. You have to have fucking both. I can smell the Sbarro's pizza.
Yeah.
I'll probably say something that I shouldn't say, but my mom did their divorce. I don't think I was ever supposed to. Yeah, the Sbarro Pizza Empire.
In the mall, in the food court mall.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't do the divorce in the mall, but yes. But yeah, those people.
That's awful.
the boys, the Sabaro brothers, maybe they were even twins. I think I went to junior high with them. Now that I actually think about it, I think they lived in my area. I think I was scared of them. I think they were like pretty aggressive kids. Okay, so is this a trick name? Mike McCaskey?
No.
I think now you're just expecting anything that has a K is now.
Okay, how about this? Hal Roberts. That can't be someone's real name, right? That's a joke. Hal Roberts. Hal Roberts.
I think that's his real name.
I think that's a real name.
Okay, how about this? Bob Jerome.
Not real.
Probably
Yeah, you're right.
Alias.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Bob is right there. Bob is right. I correct. That is true.
He was. Yeah.
He wasn't. You're right. That was my bias because I don't like Stossel because he got into it with Greg. But you're right. That was him. Right. Okay. Fine. I don't know if softballing is the right word, but I hear you. Peterson triggered. How about this clock cutter? We talked about that. That's some sort of. Sevi is named Paranoid.
I don't think it is. Joel said, "Check this out," and put nothing. Maybe he's
Number.
referring to his icon photo.
Devesh Maharaj. The Hammer and Wrench. My name is a fake name. What about could we do 97? This is why you should watch the show on YouTube.
Yep.
Thank you. Oh, so you could watch videos like this. Because if you're listening to the podcast, you can't see this. What's happening right now? Oh, that's kind of satisfying, right?
It's way better than the last one.
Oh, I'd be so stressed out if I was doing that I was going to fuck that up. He's so far in. Wow.
Cool.
Oh, shit. That was unnecessary, but okay, I'll take it.
I completed it.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's already got the points plotted out. I didn't see that the first time.
All right. Well, that's why if you have no idea what we're talking about. What number was that? 97?
Yeah, 97.
What the fuck is this comment?
What? Souza, when does your manager let you go on break to go vape in your Ram truck? Oh, shit. That's not true, but that's solid guess. Hey,
I definitely do not vape. I do not vape. I've smoked hookah before, which is only similar in the sense of the capacity of smoke in which you exhale. That was
there were dudes.
But I definitely don't vape.
There were dudes on deployment that would do it like morning to night. Like I would
just vape, just whip that thing the whole time.
I had a roommate who like I would wake up probably 6:30 in the morning, 6 a.m. and I could hear like the coil engage, and then like probably 10 seconds later I could smell it. I was like he literally just woke up, like alarm went off the first thing he did, and then same thing right before he went to bed at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Same thing. I was like, damn, dude.
I know people who put a chew in when they go to sleep, and in the middle of the night they take it out and put another chew in. I used to wake up and immediately just from bed just do bong rips.
Jesus.
In your bed?
Yeah, just like I would have the bong. I would have the bong next to my bed, and I would just lean over.
Dude, they would be done. I wouldn't even like.
My day was done. My life was done.
Just wake up and freaking bong rip in bed.
My life was done.
You're not doing shit. I knew people, we'd go on like vacation to a cabin, and everybody'd be like, wake and bake. And I'd be like, we're not going to fucking do shit if we do this. You know, you'd be somewhere cool like Tahoe and like want to go out, like walk, and everybody be like, wake and bake. And then everybody just sits there.
I was that dude who always smoked. Like if you shared a room with me in college, I smoked every morning. Right when I woke up, and then I always had a girl at the house too. Like there was always, or like in our room, Like always. Like it would suck to have been my roommate. I always had a girl in there.
That's kind of cool. I don't know how you did that with the bong rip in the morning though. That's impressive, actually.
They were all nice girls. All my girlfriends were always nice.
Bong rips in the morning, MDMA at night.
Okay. 99 Scumbag in the Wild. Oh, look, we're gonna make it to the 3-hour mark.
I thought that's what you were doing.
Trying to make
it right 3. Yeah, I think right we got to that. I thought you were like.
I really like this title of this Scumbag in the Wild.
I think we've seen this one before, but
we have. Okay.
The gentleman from Indiana, Mr. Hollingsworth, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Well, good afternoon. I'm excited to be here with each of you. Before I my questions, Mr. Moynihan, I wanted to let you know, Saruthi, raise your hand, Saruthi. She has been my team member for a couple of years now, but on Monday, she becomes a Bank of America team member, about which she is very, very excited. So I hope you'll take good care of her and know and recognize the talent that she has shown already in our office. I'm sure she'll do the same at Bank of America.
How are you floating your resume to big banks? I mean, you're supposed to be the ones, policing the big banks.
Grow up, Jamie.
There must be some kind of law against working for a financial institution right after you've been working in financial regulation, right?
No.
Hey! Doggy!
Hey! Come over here. What are you doing at
He's a Goldman.
That was Representative Trey Hollingsworth of the Bank Oversight Committee flirting with fucking Bank of America, JP Morgan, and the others. That wasn't a movie. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, we have looked at that one before. Okay, the 103. Let's finish with something that at least it's not a repeat. God, my list sucks today. Libtard humor. And not to use that word, libtard. It's like it alienates people.
That's definitely an alienating word. It's a harmful label.
Have we done this one? These are racist Mexican jokes.
I don't know.
Sure.
We've done this one too?
There's some guys on my balcony.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, Joaquin.
What's up?
I went to this liberal bookstore yesterday.
Yeah.
And I asked them, do you guys have that book on how to report illegals and get them deported? And the guy goes, get the fuck out of here and never come back. And I said, yeah, that's the one. You got it in paperback?
Okay, so one more. Try one more. Oh, we've seen that one already. God, I'm so sorry, guys. That's why I'm never going to be big time. Fucking show.
Because we have Super Bowl clips out here.
I use Google, email, Gmail to keep my fucking show intact. 105. Sorry, Maddie Rogers.
We've definitely seen that one too.
Okay. I'll try not to use that word too. I don't want to use that. Hate is a strong word. I agree. I would stop using it. I don't like that word. See, we made full circle in the show. I was talking about don't give words power, and now I'm at the end of the show. I'm completely soft.
Look at Trish's comment about me here.
Oh, Sousa looks like he spends a lot of time around the 18-year-old girl's cubicle. Where's my birthday hug? Oh, shit. Where's my birthday hug? Hey, Trish is suppressing some serious love for you, and it's bubbling out in some weird way.
It's awesome because they're so damn funny.
105. Sorry, Maddie Rogers. Is this the Maddie Rogers one?
Where my hug at, girl?
Okay. Here we go.
Now, all this is conspiracy and not true. Not. Between the suspicious surge in the pox of the monkey, an unusual outbreak in liver inflammation among kids, an alarming number of attacks on the heart, inflammation of the heart, cardiovascular disease, and strokes, it would appear these arm cocktails they force in the population are causing acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, or AIDS. Now remember, all adverse effects from these jabs you see on VAERS are grossly underreported. Maybe 1 to 10% of adverse events are actually reported. The total number of acquired immune disorders from 2000 to 2020 was 21. That number just went up to 386 in 2021, a 1,145% increase. Sepsis, being a life-threatening organ dysfunction triggered by infection, had 75 cases totaling from 2000 to 2020 due to jabs. In 2021 alone, it had 1,593 cases, with the overwhelming majority due to the Fauci ouchie. That's a 2,024% increase. Same for herpes, which had a rise of 18,336 cases in 2021 compared to 926 combined in the last 20 years. So it would make sense that the predictive programming is used like this article I found in Fortune, predicting a rise in human immune viruses. Evidence coming out that there's a mammoth rise in STDs and HIV with 1.6 million cases reported in 2021. If only we knew what else happened in 2021 we can tie this to. Happy Thursday, savages, except you, people that push for this. I would have a battle of wits with you, but it would appear that you are unarmed.
Yeah. Okay, how about 112, weightlifting accident? Don't get that thing, people. I'm not a doctor. I cannot give medical advice. But there's mounting evidence. Okay, how did this happen? Oh, this might be my favorite. Is this my favorite one? Is this when the bar goes over the girl's head?
I don't know.
Okay, let's see.
Come on, James.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't see that coming. Oh. I like how Caleb tried to freeze it right when his.
I wanted to see where his head went.
Oh my God. Mason Mitchell, no rep. Weightlifting accident. How did I think that was going to play out? I have it titled weightlifting accident.
So good.
Oh man.
Okay.
Can't tell if this dude is filming me or the landscape.
Are you on the first floor or something?
It's weird. Yes.
I thought somebody rappelled into your balcony and
those two dudes that were there was weird. I should have spun it so you guys could see.
Okay. This guy stole my joke. Okay, let's do this. 193. This guy stole my joke. God, these are so old. This is the last one, I swear.
Here's my one problem with the body positive movement, though. Why is it that you can't make fat jokes anymore because that's body shaming? But Mr. 5'7" up here still hears short jokes all the time. I think short jokes are way more offensive than fat jokes. I really do. Because I get made fun of for something that I have had not an ounce of control over my entire life. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get short. It wasn't like I was 6'3" and then I just let myself go. Nobody's ever been like, that Tomasulo kid could have played in the NBA, but then he lost all that height. Look at him now. Here's my one problem.
All right. Guys, thank you so much. We do have another show today that I'm dreading. And it will be, do we even have a time for this? Do we have a time? Oh, it's late, 7 p.m.
Yeah, 7 p.m. our time, but we could probably adjust that. I think we just put that out there for.
I think we need to move that up. Let's ask JR and Taylor and Hiller. So today, the open announcement is going to be announced. What time is that happening at?
Noon Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. our time here in AZ.
Okay, so 1 p.m. that will be announced. And then I think Laura and Gabby are going to go head to head. They'll be done by 2, and then I'm guessing at between 2 and 3 is when Taylor will do it. Then he should be done at 4. So then maybe even at 4 p.m. We'll keep you guys posted. Check the times. We'll change. I don't hate CrossFit. You want me to be just completely honest? Is there anyone still watching?
No, we're fine. It's just us.
I just want to just go party now. I want to go to like a coffee shop and get so jacked on espresso, and then I want to go somewhere and have a mixed drink. And
hey,
then,
what do you guys?
And then maybe like take a nap and then work out, and then drink some more.
And then how about I film the whole thing and we make a video out of it?
Yeah, that's exactly that's what I want to do. But I can't drink if I'm gonna have a podcast tonight. But I'm kind of like,
yeah. Might be all right.
We will be premiering a brand new commercial today from SMTP. I think Will already put it on the back end. They asked if Taylor asked me if he could go back there. Is it back there? Can we see it?
Yeah, I put it up there yesterday.
Oh, you did. Okay, awesome. So we'll be premiering a new little commercial from SMTP programming today. I'm excited about that. And thanks for hanging in there today. Long show today. Hope you guys had fun. I had a blast. Caleb, Souza, thank you. Paper Street Coffee and California Hormones. California Hormones sounds like they're opening up a new lab in Northern California. Get ready. Use code Sevan. Get your free shit. All right. And you can use the code word Sevan at Paper Street Coffee also and get a discount, I believe, on shipping. And at California Hormones, get the free doctor's consult. Okay, fine. We're done.